here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
And welcome to Live at the Bike. I'm David Tuckman, here with the lovely Shirley Rosario. I cannot tell you how excited I am
Me too.
to be working with you.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with Bart. I love Bart, but hey. Tonight we've got a $200 buy-in, no limit hold'em game.
Right.
And it's kind of a girls-only event
With one exception.
One exception.
Right.
I guess when you own a casino, you get...
You can sit in with the girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. So let's get right to the action.
Okay.
Let's do an intro first.
Yeah, introduce the players here. We have, okay. I don't have their seat numbers. Okay, here we go. We have Pamela there in seat number 1. And then the exception that we were talking about, Haig, in seat 2.
I got to tell you, for a guy who owns a casino, basically owns a casino, he cannot be more, he's like the nicest guy.
He is.
Super nice and so down to earth.
Right.
Really cool guy.
We have Yulette in seat 3. Evelyn in seat 4. Nicole in seat 5. Seat 6. Okay, help me with that one. Spamenka? Is that
Clearly
what you said?
Spamenka.
Okay. Sean in 7. Vicky is in seat 8. And Patty is in seat 9. So we're doing this ladies event because tonight is kind of a ladies whatever theme at the Bicycle Casino. We have the World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational going on in another room as well.
Right, and Bart is actually emceeing that event.
Right.
So there we go. I heard last night was quite a show with Barry Greenstein.
I loved it. I loved it. I'm telling you, David, I learned more in 1 hour than I've learned in a year.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the blinds here are $2. What is it? $3 and $5.
Right. It's
$200 buying game. And the button right now is in seat 4, and it looks like seat 2, Haig, is going to raise it for 15 here with ace 10.
I don't think that was right, David. I think that...
Did Patty raise?
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
Patty raised and Haig called.
Technicalities.
Mm-hmm. $20 bet and call. You know what Haig's calling here? Calling with ace high.
Well, you played with Haig before, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Never?
No.
Oh, Haig is a lot of fun to play with.
Is he?
Well, you got to understand, the guy has money,
Mm-hmm.
he's a lot of fun, and he doesn't care about throwing away a couple hundred. He doesn't care about
Especially
throwing
to
a
the
couple
ladies.
$1,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and if you're, especially the ladies, exactly. And he's a constant contributor. He plays actually a lot of 20-40 limit here.
Uh-huh.
Won't play higher than that because then he feels like he can lose some real money there. But 20-40, he'll sit down with $500.
That's like fun money for him.
Yeah, he'll sit down with $500 and blow through it and has a good time. And we all love when he sits down.
Wish I could have a good time blowing $500.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, it's like the equivalent. If you sat down in like a 1-2 game and you blew
That's
through
true.
like
$40.
yeah, through $20, you'd be like, okay, whatever, having a good time. So as our Legends, tonight's actually our last Legends of Poker event, the World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational.
Right. Which I did play in last night and bombed out.
Yeah, I can't say that. Well, you actually, you had a successful Legends run. No, you did come first place in the Omaha tournament.
Yes, I did.
Yes, that rocks. First place in anything is good.
Yes.
I've actually had somewhat of a dry last couple of months, to be honest. Cashed early on in the World Series, and then didn't play many Legends events, but didn't do very well in the Legends main event. Obviously, got knocked out.
Well, you made it through day 1.
Yeah, I guess is that an accomplishment?
That is.
Okay. And if anybody was watching on the card player thing, I actually got knocked out on the first hand of the second day.
Day 2.
They actually had me in there as Dave live at the Bike Tuckman.
I know, I saw that.
I was like, wow, okay. There you go.
Okay, we have a lot of action here. Six people in the pot here.
40.
Seat 7, bet $40. She has a diamond draw.
Yeah?
8 high. I don't think anybody can call this. I mean, Shanshan's got a big hand there. She's got a pair with the diamond draw.
I don't know. This hand you make how much you make? I don't know.
And Shanshan does not have much experience playing no limit hold'em.
Right.
She's predominantly a limit hold'em player. Actually, most of these ladies don't. Vicky also is a limit hold'em player.
Patty's a limit player.
Yeah.
The only no limit player that I'm seeing at the moment, well, Yulette and Nicole.
Right, there you go.
Now, I don't know if my facts are straight, but I believe I'm right in saying that seat 6, Bomenka, is Yana's mom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, Yana told
And
me,
she
actually.
is a very nice lady.
She's super nice. Yana told me that
Very
she's
nice
she's a gambling addict. I mean, in total assurance, she said no problem saying it.
Huh.
Came right out and said it. She's been trying to stop her mom from gambling for quite a while.
And then Yana took it up. Well,
Yeah,
Yana plays
exactly.
poker. Depends if you want to call it gambling or not.
Exactly, yeah.
Very nice.
Well, Yulette's got ace king here, and she's going to raise it up. Shanshan's not going to call with pocket eights. Or actually, she is going to call. Actually, she's going to re-raise. I just butchered that to all hell. That was a pretty aggressive play for Shanshan. To re-raise with pocket eights. Actually, for other women, we've got our 12th annual Queen of Clubs tournament coming up on
This Sunday.
This Sunday at 2:15. And it's a bounty no limit hold'em tournament, $30. It includes a buffet and mimosas, which start at 11:30 in the morning, and the tournament starts at 2:15. And then you get $5 for each person you eliminate. So that's once again that's 2:15 on Sunday, September 4th. And you can come for buffet and mimosas at 11:30 in the morning. It's an interesting spelling of Nicole.
Queen jacket.
So Nicole's made a pretty good call there. Haig bet and Nicole called with her sevens. She does have the best hand.
Haig's actually finally he's got the draw, same wheel draw I just had.
Does anybody else drink wine? No. Do you drink wine? Would you like to drink wine? Yeah, but what did you order? What did you order?
And Haig checks, Nicole bets, and Haig folds. Excitement abounds. So seriously, I've been looking forward to working with you for a while.
Me too. I mean, working with you.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
It was exciting actually seeing you come back for the second day as well. I kind of had mild fantasies of getting to the final table with you. But obviously that was
Yeah,
not
that would have
to
been
be.
great.
That was not
It
to
didn't
be.
work. No, it didn't work out that way.
No.
I played well. I feel really comfortable with the way
Yeah.
that I played.
That's good.
So that's always, a small consolation. Even though I got knocked out, I was comfortable with it.
Interesting, I saw Barry that day, and since he's been in the booth and working with us, had a little more of a relationship with him. And I saw him, he had like 40,000 chips going into day 2. And he said it just wasn't his day, it just didn't work out.
Right.
You know, and in the end, that's what you need, everything to go your way to win a tournament.
You do.
Congratulations to Kenneth James for coming in second place.
Yes. He played his heart out. He was a hometown favorite.
Without a doubt.
And when he got knocked out, I mean, everyone gave him a standing ovation. It's like, yeah, Kenna, I was so proud of him. I mean, he got his money in with the best of it, and it wasn't his day as far as winning, you know.
As far
Well,
as winning.
you being a tournament player, you understand second's not good enough when
course
you're
not.
right there shooting for first. But he played well, and I was so proud of him. And honestly, you know, the player that won seemed like a very nice gentleman, but I do have to say that it will be the Kenna James show. You
Right.
know, he put on a show for everybody, and people are going to remember him, even though he wasn't the winner.
Right.
He's going to be the name that people remember.
And seat 1 here, Pamela's going to raise it up Queens. See if Nicole calls with ace-10 of clubs.
I don't think Nicole will call. What do you think?
I would imagine she would not. I mean, they're just not deep enough to make the call worth it.
Whoop. Okay, we're wrong.
Well, there you go.
And Nicole's a pretty solid player. She hit the flop here.
Yeah. Problem is she's got to know she's good now.
Okay, she checked in the Pamela, and she bet $20, which is real
Small bet now.
Yeah, a weak
It's
bet.
about a $20
for
bet.
that
It's about a
pot.
$100 pot.
Mhm.
Always try to be a gentleman, never be seen with an ugly woman.
I think that is a very good trade.
And Nicole just called.
Well, now she's not going anywhere. She's picked up her flush draw.
And they both checked.
40.
Wow, and she's going to pay her off. I was about to say, the reason I don't like calling with ace-10 of clubs there is just because rarely do you know where you're at, and you don't make the maximum.
You're not going to get value out of
Right.
it. Right.
It's like, okay, if you actually get lucky and hit your 3-outer, you don't really know where you're at. You're kind of playing it cautious
Yeah.
defensively.
You're
and then-
either in trouble or you're not.
Right. But in that case, Pamela paid her off in the river. So.
Yes, she did.
All these beautiful girls, I'm just not concentrating on the cards.
That's okay. You just play loose. It's okay. We're very funny.
Hey, why do you look around? Why do you think that they
I just want to say happy anniversary to my wife. It's actually our 4th anniversary today.
Congratulations.
I took yesterday off because she was unavailable today, actually, and had a good time. Went to Santa Barbara, went to the beach, really good dinner, took the dogs. It was a lot of fun. So happy anniversary to my lovely wife.
Oh, no. Don't steal. Don't steal. I know you guys.
I want to say hi to everybody at 2+2 here. Who follow. If you want to follow the thread, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelt out. Go to forums. Go to World Poker Tour and
Tournament
other
Poker first.
Tournament Poker and World Poker Tour and other events, and then click on the live at the bike thread. Thank Kev Math for starting it up every night.
Yes.
Check. 20. All in.
And sorry about starting the show late tonight, but you know women.
45 total.
And then that's not me. He's not talking about me.
No, I
neighborly.
wasn't talking about you, Charlotte. I was clearly talking about the women at the table, but trying to get like 9 women together for, hey.
Oh, rough district.
But you got her balls.
That's it. Nice, bluff boss.
See? I don't know. She doesn't.
And I want to thank Barry for coming in the show and giving us great commentary last night. I'm actually really looking forward to, obviously last night was my anniversary, so I wasn't watching the show. But I'm looking forward to checking it out on the archives.
I promise you,
Yeah.
you'll enjoy it. I mean,
And-
we've had a couple people say that they can't follow the action and stuff like that, and I told David it doesn't really matter. I mean, you learn so much.
Right. And obviously I'm sure we'll get Barry in as a regular contributor, when he's in town, a couple hours here, a couple hours there to
Right.
help out and, give us some great insight.
20.
What's the
Anytime we can get great insight from a guy like Barry Greenstein or
Right.
somebody who's been there, knows how to get there, hey.
And what's so wonderful about him is that he's a no holds barred. I mean, he just offers his information up there. Stuff that he doesn't have to share with all of us,
Right.
to help us become better players. Yeah, he's so free.
Hague's
With his
trips
thoughts.
here. Sorry about that. Hague's flop trips, and Evelyn, Evelyn actually has top pair.
No, he's got dual 6 also. No.
95.
No slow play in Hague here.
No,
He's in position. He's just raising it
he
up.
raised. And I didn't think he was going to get a call, but here we go. We see a call.
Wow.
The styles of men and women are so different. Well, I am not all women, but
I was gonna
certainly
say.
most. Yeah.
And she's drawing very slim. She's going to need a queen on the river.
Okay.
And only a queen.
75.
Flop is actually queen, deuce, deuce, 5. There it is up there.
Okay.
Her hand is queen jack there, not king jack. So
No,
She's
it's
drawing
queen
to a
jack.
queen.
Yeah, what can she beat?
not much.
No, not
a
best
flush
of
draw.
Right, yeah, she obviously says Queen Jack, not King Jack. King
Right.
Jack would make it a very odd call.
Yes.
Exactly.
See, he showed one bluff and then he...
And Haig takes it down.
Hey, didn't you know that the little player is this side? NFC.
So I see Ulette is wearing a Poker Babes tank top.
Is she wearing it today?
Yeah, I was
missed
actually
it.
wondering if I can get one myself.
Yeah, you looked good in your hot pink tank top the
Yeah.
other day, David.
I was thinking of wearing it.
I'm
secure with my sexuality. I have no problem. Hey.
My girlfriend made me a whole bunch of those for the World Series, and she had a lot, and I had promised Gillette that I would get her one. So last night when I saw Jacqueline, I'm like, let me get some. So I got one for Gillette and Jennifer
Oh,
that
cool.
does a commentary here, and then 2 of the people that work on the floor.
Fabulous.
But I didn't even notice Gillette had hers on.
Linda Johnson, actually, the I guess the first lady of poker. She kind of been she's coming in the booth later. Do a little commentary, maybe we can do a little interview. Linda Johnson actually is one of the first women to win a gold bracelet, a World Series of Poker bracelet.
I think in an open event, is that right?
Yeah.
I believe it was.
She won a Raz
Oh,
event.
okay.
I think in 19. I want to say 19. Shoot. I'll have to get it right, but I know in 1980 she came in 5th in the women's event, and then turned pro, moved to Vegas, became a professional poker player, and then came in 1st in the Raz event, won a bracelet. Then in 92, her and a bunch of partners bought Card Player magazine.
Yeah, she's been fortunate. She's been in the right place at the right time in this poker
Yeah, exactly.
poker business.
And now she's smart. She's actually Vicky's got pocket aces.
She didn't
here.
used to be smart, David?
No, now she's smart. She's actually gotten out of the magazine business and out of this, and she does the Card Player cruises, which is that's just the coolest job in the world.
Yeah.
I think. And we're gonna go to flop here. We've got pocket aces versus King 8, and 10-5 here. No, 10-5's gone. I'm sorry. Spomenka's got top pair here. Let's see if she can get away from it. Maybe
I don't
not.
think she can get away from it, David. She bet 100. It looks like she only has $20 left behind her.
Yeah, she's in bad shape here.
Okay, that is not a that was a string. That was a I call. I'm all in. She is supposed to. It's only supposed to stand as a call.
In that case, Spomenka only had $20, so I don't think she objected.
So we can see that Vicky is not normally a no limit player.
Right,
You
exactly.
can't say I call. I'm all in, unless you're calling all in.
Can I get a scarf?
Right.
If that makes sense.
Either way, our aces obviously hold up. And we did promise everybody at home that we'd go back to some of the regular games. And obviously this is a little bit more low-paced in the sense of just a normal $200 buy-in game. When you do go down to Felt, you can rebuy for $300.
Right.
Sometimes when I play these $200 games, my strategy early on is, especially if there's a lot of chips on the table, I almost gamble it up real early, see if I can get chips, and if I don't, I can rebuy in for $300.
Yeah. And then your chips are on the table
My chips
where
are on-
they're
exactly.
easy, to get back if you're comfortable with the players you're playing with. You left at $20 there.
What you got?
She has ace jack, top pair.
Flop is Jack 4-8 here, and takes it down.
It's one of the strategies Daniel uses. I mean, in rebuy tournaments is
Daniel,
Negreanu.
thank you.
Is that he doesn't mind doing a lot of rebuys if the chips stay on the table because he knows he can get them back in later rounds.
Right.
You know? So he just gambles it up, and pretty soon there's so many chips on the table, and he knows that he can acquire them from the other players. He doesn't mind losing a few hands.
That's what he said in the 2004. In the 2004
Yeah, the
World
one who
Series,
did that ridiculous rebuy.
he had like 26 rebuys or something, and he came in 4th place, which I think netted him like a $6,000 profit.
No, I think it was.
Did he make a lot? Okay.
I think he did.
But he said that he knew the table wouldn't break for a while, and he figured he was the best player at the table, and if he got a lot of chips, great. If he doesn't, then hey, I can still get him back from all those players. Get a raise here. I'm going to out of the button here. Sean in seat 7 raise with pocket 8s.
4 players.
And everybody called. Well, not everybody, but 4 players.
Even Hake called.
Well, Spomenka hit her king again, but this time it's good.
You have a pocket aces again?
Hake's in there with 8 deuce.
25.
He's got
Well,
the
he has a
draw.
flush draw. Yeah.
Hey. And Evelyn can throw her 5s away pretty safely. Oh. And Hay gets there. But that's a trouble card for Spomenka because Spomenka's got 2 pair now.
Not just any two pairs. Just
Top 2 pair,
yeah.
exactly. Although I got to be honest, nothing wrong with Spomenka, but I don't think top 2 pair or bottom 2 pair or any 2 pair is going to make a difference for her.
Right.
And look at Haig. It's not nice to hit girls. And Haig's going to take this one down. Is he going to bet it? He is. Look at that. He's going to milk her for
he
everything he's worth.
wants every dollar she has.
I believe it that you have a flush.
How about yours?
2 pair. I had to stay until the river and river was there.
I think she said I have to stay till the river.
Yeah, she said, I believe you have a flush, but she still called.
Hey.
He should be talking for us.
Forget limit. You should play no limit against the women.
I like to play against women any game.
And is this a game that you'd want to be in? Or not
I
really?
don't-
I mean,
Well, so I made it on turn, right?
I don't think I would mind particularly because I'm familiar with a lot of their play.
okay.
I don't normally like sitting with a lot of women like in the ladies tournament last night. I mean, you just can't. A lot of them don't make logical, I guess. I can't. They don't make decisions that a normal like
Poker player would make.
a player who does it professionally would make. You know,
Okay,
they-
yeah.
You know, the pot odds and stuff like this. But considering that I know these players, I think that I could do well in this game. And having Hake there would be a bonus.
There you go.
The only one that I would really think that could give me a little problem on the table would be Nicole, but she plays a pretty straight up game.
Right.
She's a solid player. She plays well.
Yeah. What do you think of Eulette's game?
I think I think she plays I don't know how to say it. God, she might watch the show, David.
What did he have?
I think she plays too tight. I think that I can make her lay down hands
Right.
where I wouldn't be able to make someone else lay down.
Okay. She's sitting there waiting for the nuts, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the one that invited me to play. Don't forget.
You play with her. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, sometimes actually I think she overplays because she thinks she's getting bullied. I think sometimes she overplays top pair, top kicker. Like, not even top pair, top kicker. Like king, queen, the flop comes out king high.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of trouble getting away from it for a lot of money because she thinks she's getting bullied by a guy sometimes.
Right.
Maybe you should talk to the boss.
But yeah, no, I definitely would agree with you. You know, she's betting when she has it. She's checking when she doesn't have it.
Right.
If she check raises, she has it, generally.
You got a name?
I wouldn't worry about taking it, about hurting her feelings. I mean, most people know. Most poker players know it's not a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like attacking them personally.
Right.
Maybe jackpot. I
It's just their play.
pocket pair?
Haig might take it personally. That's about it.
If they ever bet out into that flop, it's not a jackpot hit. Word to the wise.
Once again, we are live at the Bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Shirley Rosario. We're playing No Limit Hold'em, restricted buy-in, $200 buy-in game with the blinds are $3 and $5.
The yellow chips there are $5, and the blue chips are $1.
And look at Haig.
He's racking them up.
Racking
That
them
looks
up.
like me today.
Yeah,
After
you
listening to
racking
Barry,
up?
I'm telling you, yeah.
You're on fire, huh?
Well, in the $100 game, I made like $600. That's
Oh, that's a
pretty-
great
Yeah.
show. Gillette is still in the lead here.
Crazy.
40.
Flop of 10-10-6.
That's about 35.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you let checked and Patty bet, and that's what I'm talking about. You let, I mean, you have Ace King and the board's paired like that. You lead out in that hand.
Oh, definitely.
You assume that you have the best hand unless somebody lets you know otherwise.
Right.
You can't check to the person in position. They could bet with any two cards, and you don't know where you are. It's harder to call. But
Well, I mean, then they almost have to bet. I mean,
Yes.
why wouldn't you bet? It's a heads up. They check to me. I'm going to go, okay, I'll take a shot at it. You don't
Right.
want the pot. Haig's doing that clap on thing, clap on. And we're kind of having a women's night tonight in honor of the World Poker Tour Women's Invitational that's taking place right now. Actually, Bart Hansen is emceeing the event.
so who's your favorite, David,
My favorite what?
to win the
Tonight?
Ladies Invitational?
Oh.
I remember what I ordered.
Oh, who's my favorite? You know what? It's hard. I'm going to just guess because I haven't really played with all of them.
Far too young to remember the list.
Not necessarily who you think will win, but somebody who you would like to see win.
What's what I'd like to see win? Yeah, I'll go with Marsha Wagner.
Because of kind of, last night it would make a great story. Or because, because she's
No,
been
I actually,
around.
yeah, she's been around, and I know her, and I've played with her, and she's a sweetheart.
Okay. I'm personally rooting for Isabel.
Are you?
Yeah. She rocks.
Isabel's the one that won last year, right? Okay. Cool. Now, playing a women's event like the one you played last night, I mean, that must be... I mean, in a weird way, it's almost like playing the Amedia event that we played the other day, where it's like it's playing a completely different kind of poker game.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Today when I came in, Yolette actually said, "You weren't on your game yesterday." I said, "Yes, I was. I just had a different strategy. You only start with 8 or 9 chips, and they're going to call you. You have to get your chips in there, and you need to get a lot of chips early,
Right.
in order to be able to manipulate, situations later on down the line." And so I just kept getting my chips in there.
So I might get checks and calls with the flush draw here.
She picked up a straight draw.
Yeah, they both picked up the same straight draw here.
55.
And it's another check call here. Patty's going to continue to bet here. Actually, I think she's... Oh, they both picked the straight up here.
I think I got you.
7 of hearts on the river there. And they're going to chop it up.
I have a flush draw.
I know. What do you have?
Patty's a very aggressive player. I played stud high-low with her. I play limit hold'em with her. And she's extremely aggressive. I actually love playing stud high-low with her. I hope for when she doesn't watch this. She's a sweetheart. She's really nice. But her stud high-low game is... I mean, she is, to me, in my eyes, she's a superstar. MVP.
What do you mean?
Like really, really super aggressive with very questionable holdings.
Uh-huh.
And stud high-low is a game where you've really got to be constantly changing gears during the same game because of your holdings. She'll raise up and be real aggressive with a hand like split fives with a 9 kicker, which not a good game in even 7-card stud high, and it's not even a playable hand in stud high-low.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Split fives with a 9 kicker. It's just, and she'll raise it and bang it into what looks like very formidable boards, Spomenka's got ace king here.
And she just called.
Spomenka's got top pair here, top kicker, and Pamela doesn't want to show us her cards, but we'll get them out of her.
Well,
We'll find out real quick here.
yes, we will.
110.
And a call. She'll flip them up, and we'll be able to see what she has here. Oh,
Wow.
she flopped a set of aces. No wonder why she didn't want to show us.
Oh, Spomenka's she's like the bad
She's
luck
getting
girl.
tortured. Yeah.
She gets 2 pair, and Hay gets the flush, and the case ace comes out there. I mean, ace king there, that's a pretty good flop for ace king. Ace
Yes.
jack 5 rainbow.
Yes.
Wow. Spomenka just... Wow, Pamela just turned her around and smacked her. Bam.
We had a little inside joke. David, you can repeat that. That was pretty funny.
That's all you. All you. I couldn't do it on her. I don't think I could do it justice there.
They're giving her a good spamanking.
Haig is buying all the ladies' drinks. Look at that. Haig sits with the ladies, gets them all drunk.
I'm saying that
For the camera.
for the camera.
And we're going to get Spanky in seat 6 to show her cards. And there she is. And she's got pocket sixes.
If you have a friend in Germany,
Patty there with king 8 offsuit. And Spanky's moving all in.
Yeah, I mean, she's not.
I'm not Spamenka.
Oh, man.
We come up with nicknames for all these players here, and it's not a personal thing. I hope people don't get offended by it. You know, hey, people call me Tuck, Tuckman, Tuckster, or whatever.
Don't they call you Friar Tuck?
Friar Tuck.
Yeah.
Any of those are fine. I could care less. Me and Spamenka go way back. She looks like she's drinking a pina colada.
hold it as time.
When do we get a new dealer?
He's asking for a dealer. Some things never change.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't played with her in so long.
I like it, but I don't like the cards that he's giving.
It's always funny. I always laugh at people that like either change chairs
Uh-huh.
or ask for
Change-
a new dealer
yeah,
or won't
new
play with a
setup.
dealer because of like, you know, oh, that dealer never gives me good cards.
Yep. Or
Haig's got aces here, by the
new
way.
setup. The next 52 cards or the whatever new
Yeah.
52 cards are going to be different than the old 52 cards.
Haig raises it up here with pocket aces, and Vicky's going to call with Queen Jack suited, and it's heads up here. About a $30 pot now. 10-9-6-3, and that's going to give Vicky a straight draw. But with 3 clubs on the board, can she really go for it?
You're not gonna go.
And that's all fake.
What's fake?
Her stacking her chips. Like she's going to go all in. It was just very obviously a fake.
All
fake
I'm
move.
seeing is Isaac zooming into her boobs and you saying, that's all fake.
Well,
Isaac's zooming into her boobs.
Isaac was just trying to get the chips. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I give you such a bad
So,
Just high enough
let's see.
to make you feel comfortable.
Here we go. Kev Math was mentioned that now we know where Evelyn is, meaning the producer of the show is sitting in seat 4. That is not our
Yeah.
Evelyn.
Not our Evelyn.
Not our Evelyn.
Oh, you should rate
Evelyn is actually
That out there.
busy. She's wearing like 15 hats this month between like producing this show and working with Legends of Poker.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
tonight she's
sure
in
she's
with
tonight
them.
working with the World Poker Tour tonight.
That's right. She was in there last night. We were all rooting for Kenneth.
Yeah. It's funny too. Ken has been getting he's been taking a beating in the No Limit games here over the last month.
I haven't really watched that much. The one time that I did, one time he played with me in the game, and he was there just to liven it up, have some
Right.
fun. The other time, I wasn't particularly impressed with his live action game, but you've got to give him credit for his No Limit tournament game. He is incredible.
Obviously.
As a matter of fact, I think that one of the sites, it might have been Card Player, listed him as the #1 No Limit tournament player in the world because of all his final tables. I mean, he has more final tables than anybody.
Yeah, he's obviously his tournament play is phenomenal. It was interesting because obviously I hadn't watched his play much. Well, nobody's watched his live cash play much.
Right.
Actually seeing the whole cards. Just Nicole here's got 2 black queens here, a couple of black ladies. See how she plays it.
Oh, it's coming, it's coming.
Faster, faster.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
She wins $30?
Mash me up.
Call.
Boss has got a lot of chips.
Wow.
He'll call Eddie Hand now.
So we got a couple of calls here. Haig is going to call with Queen Jack of Hearts.
I'm certainly going to
There's no way you let us in there with Jack 7. But I know Spanky there in seat 6 has Ace 10 offsuit.
It is. I raced before.
60. You guys play. I have to go out.
And Haig is on a pure bluff here. He's got backdoor flush draw. That's it. Well, now he's got
Why?
straight
Gut shot,
flush draw.
straight draw, yeah.
And flush
Flush
draw.
draw.
And royal straight flush draw.
And Nicole's not stopping here. Spamenka folded on the flop. She does not have the ace there, so
Good now.
it's just heads up, and Nicole still has the best hand.
You probably got me something.
What's up?
Kings and queens. My ace would be great. Oh, I folded the best.
Wow. Funny, Haig did not bet the river there?
No,
Or was
he did
Nicole
not.
in?
No, Haig checked, and Nicole said you probably have me, and she just turned over her cards.
I was going to say, I mean, that river, you're looking at that board going, there's nothing I can beat.
Uh-huh.
You know, if the guy was betting a 5, I can't even beat that anymore.
Right.
I was surprised Haig didn't bet the river there. What were we talking about before? Oh, Kenna.
Yes.
So we're watching him play, you know, and obviously I was so impressed with him before I knew him even. You know, I was like, wow. And obviously getting to know him, he's such a great guy.
He's
I'm even
wonderful.
more impressed with him. But watching his play, his live play, I was like, I mean, he was dropping like, there was a day where, Bobby Belonde, John Robert Belonde came in the game. And that game, I mean, it was a live game, and I think Kenna lost like 5 or 6 grand that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day I watched him play, and he lost another 3 grand. And I saw him going, and it looked like he was probably down 10, 12 grand over like a 3 or 4 session period. And I was like, man, come on, Kenna, step it up.
Right.
And then sure enough, like, you know, I turn around day 1, which was actually day 1B, and I turn around and I see he's got like 50,000 chips in a tournament. I'm going, okay, hey.
Uh-huh. Now, I'm really curious to know if he does it because of being in here, being a guest commentator, and understanding the show side of it, and want to make it fun for us. You know, I hope that's not, you know, well, actually, I kind of hope that's the case. I hope he doesn't play like that all the time. But I certainly wouldn't want him to lose all that money just to entertain us.
Right. Pamela's got ace-king here. She's got big slick in seat 1. She raised it up. And Patty might call. Patty's a pretty aggressive player. And Spomenka's going to call, too. With
she has ace-8 of diamonds.
Ace-8 of diamonds there. She's in bad shape.
And I'm surprised Patty called because look at how many chips she has behind.
She's super aggressive.
But she doesn't have any chips behind. She doesn't have the implied odds. Well, there we
she
go.
doesn't care, I don't think.
It shows me. What do I know? It's the 4.
Of course there's no implied odds. I mean, she's going to obviously
I
win
know,
the
but
hands.
she one's going to win the hand. And
Right. But
she
it's not
looks
the right,
like a genius. And
doesn't make the play look right.
That's true.
For sure. I mean, actually, calling with pocket 4s there is actually a terrible call.
Right.
She just happened to hit her set.
$6 more.
And Pamela is drawing dead to runner.
She needs a runner. Jack, queen, that's it.
Oh,
there's
queen.
one. Queen?
No.
Nope.
4 is full, takes it down. There is a huge difference between tournament no-limit play as opposed to no-limit cash play.
Absolutely.
Huge difference.
There is.
Not saying that one player is any better than another player, but there's a huge difference. And I see the same cash players that are successful that aren't necessarily able to take that game to the tournament level, and I see those tournament players not able to take it to the cash game.
Right.
And it's interesting. Kenna just might fall in that category where, you know, I mean, he brings in, almost $600,000 for this tournament. So hey.
This one alone, I mean, that's not even counting the World Series where he finished in the top 100. I don't remember his exact spot, do you?
No, I don't. I think it was like 60-something. But yeah, obviously he's doing very well in tournaments. Obviously he's doing something right.
Yes.
And I guess the way he's doing it, the way he's playing these tournaments and stuff, he figures, hey, if I blow through 8 or 9 grand in a cash game, what's the big deal? I know to me or you, it doesn't make sense, but he's certainly having a good time.
Yes.
And I know everybody at the table is having a good time with him. Wow. Haig is on fire.
Spomenka's going to get spanked again.
Haig is on fire. Oh, Spomenka's not going to lose a lot of money in this one, is she?
She doesn't have that many chips. I think she's.
Oh, okay.
She's not going anywhere. $10. She has a. She just called. I'm surprised.
Patty's.
Looks like she only has like $8 left.
Now, if a deuce or a 5 come on the river here, those girls are in a lot of trouble.
Guys, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah.
Haig's betting 50.
You know, since I have
This is one of those times at Jack 6 you can't beat anything. There's nothing you can beat except maybe King 10, bluffing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what can you beat? You got 2 pair with a 10 kicker. Maybe you're hoping for a chop pot. The guy had Jack 9 or something like that.
Oh, how did I misread this? Huh. I thought she had the
Oh,
queen.
you thought she had the queen.
I
Okay.
thought she had, I thought she had trips
Right.
with the 6.
Do you have a 9? No. Do you have a 10?
Well, but the thing is, I spoke.
One thing yesterday was really funny in the ladies' tournament. It was so funny. Every time that someone gave another player the bad beat, you heard, sorry, sorry. You know, you don't hear that in
Sorry.
Yeah. They're all feeling bad.
What do you think about ladies' events? I got to be honest, in my own opinion, I'm just going to throw my opinion, my 2 cents out there. In the current landscape of poker,
Yes.
I think ladies' events are crap. I don't understand the point of them. I don't understand the point of seniors' events, ladies' events. You play poker, you play poker. There's no... I mean, okay, if I'm playing like... I play ice hockey. Okay, I understand there being women's and men's. Well, physically, we're different.
Yes.
But in a poker tournament, there's no physical...
Oh, there's a difference. Let me
There is.
tell you.
I know there's a difference, but there doesn't have to be.
Right.
I mean,
I think that
I'd
the
like
women's-
for like little category for me.
Yeah. All
Just that I can win.
All persons named David can play in this.
Right,
tournament.
exactly. You have to be named David. You've got to be from New York,
Uh-huh.
and weigh something between 160 and 175.
Uh-huh.
Boom. I might win that tournament.
And you'll be the winner.
Right, exactly.
Flop the set of 8s here for Sean.
Sean's got 8s like 19 times today. It's amazing.
All right, I only need one more spade.
One more spade.
For the nice space.
What is he doing?
How much you owe?
Well,
He's calling for a 7 where he has the ass end of the straight.
Vicky's calling for a 7.
Any spade will
She has.
Yeah, but she doesn't have the ass end. She has a backdoor flush draw at least.
Well, they're all drawing dead now.
I'm having the apple market sign it. But can you take all of that?
I think we're a bigger family.
Honey, why you don't call? I have a full house.
That's why I didn't call.
Now, I think that the ladies' event, there are some women that don't feel comfortable coming in and playing with a bunch of men.
Okay.
Say, for example, my mom. She wants to do it for fun and something like a ladies' small buy-in tournament. She'll go play, but she won't go play another event. So I can understand that. It kind of brings some women into poker. But
Okay.
I think I'm going to take the stand of not playing them anymore, except if, like in last night's case, I could get a seat on television and, that's it's something that I can't pass up. I cannot put myself on their like reasoning. I can't
Right.
think what are
Well,
they
it's like
thinking
playing.
now?
It's like, and not to demean women, because there are some women that are fabulous poker
That's
players.
right. Yes.
But it's like playing in any. It's equivalent to maybe playing like a small tournament too, where it's like you get a lot of beginners in there that are first starting out. It's difficult to adjust to that level.
It is. It is. I on one hand last night I had trips, and on the river I'd put a four card straight up there, and she had called my bet on the flop and on the turn. And I checked her and she bet, and I said, you wouldn't call with a 9 or whatever it was, a 10, whatever the gut shot was. And so I called her and I said, oh, okay, I guess you would. I'm
Right.
putting pot-sized bets out there. She, as far as getting the odds for it, she was not, but she did it. And then the next hand after that, I have a pair of 9. She calls. The board is 4-4-6. I bet. She calls. Turns an ace, and sure enough, she called with 2 overcards, and I had to end up laying that hand down. So, I'm putting in pot-sized bets. And
Right.
she called again, and I'm like, okay, forget it. From now on, I'm just sticking my chips in there with what I think is the best hand, and I'll just hope that I
hopefully.
can, hope I can accumulate chips. And the first hand went well. The same woman called me. I moved in with ace queen, and she called me with ace 9, and I doubled up. And then after that, it didn't work anymore.
And Nicole's going to take it down pre-flop here with ace 6 of hearts. She takes it down. And what's interesting here? I'm good friends with a girl named Teresa Chang.
Right, and she could play.
And she's a good player.
She's a good player.
And she came in 6th this year, actually, or 5th, I want to say,
I
at
think
the
it was
World
6th.
Series.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies event.
Yes.
And she actually got knocked out by the eventual winner,
Jennifer Tilley.
Jennifer Tilley, when her Tilley's pocket 7s, she rivered a straight.
A 4 card, right.
And Teresa's
pocket
queens went up in flames. And I love Teresa. She's the sweetest thing in the world. And she says that her dream is to get a bracelet. And I didn't want to say it to her, but in my eyes, I go, that's not. To me, it's not a real bracelet.
Right.
It's not a World Series bracelet. It's not an open event. You're beating a bunch of other women.
Right.
Same as if I won one for if I won a seniors event or whatever it is. To me, any tournament's a good win.
Right.
But if you want a World Series bracelet, it's got to be an open
That
event.
doesn't count. Right.
I don't think.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I played the ladies event because I thought that it would be good for me as far as recognition if I do win the event. But honestly, I thought if I won the event, it doesn't count. You know, the bracelet doesn't count. It's
I mean,
not-
monetarily, it might make sense for you anyway. I mean, it might be. You might look at it and go, okay, there's 600 women in this event, and I'm probably better than at least 550 of them, and the other 50 I'm at least at par with.
Right.
You might go, you know what? I have good expected value in this.
Yes.
You know. And Eulette's going to take that. I mean, actually, I'm sorry. Haig actually takes it down with ace-6.
I had queen against the club.
And they pretty much checked it down after the big
Yes,
bet
they
on the
did.
flop.
I wasn't very proud of him.
He's not going to show his cards that he's not proud of.
Six options now to go cut the show, okay? Don't show. I hope you don't plan to leave before you give us back our own money.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, that's good, that's good. Because I consider...
She wants you to stay.
No, I consider the evening just started, so I play everybody here.
Once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Shirley Rosario, the ultimate poker babe.
Thank
You
you.
can check her out at pokerbabes.com. Great site, very insightful. And we are watching a no-limit hold'em game. 3 to 5 blinds, restricted buy-in, $200 buy-in, but obviously there's more chips than that on the table.
He doesn't watch it.
And I think this gets checked around here. And it's an interesting flop, actually, for Spanky there, Spamenka. She's got deuce 5 of diamonds. She actually has a
Gutter,
gut shot
uh-huh.
straight flush draw.
Yes.
Plus the obviously flush draw and the straight draw. And Pamela's got top pair with a king kicker. See how it's played there. Oh, boom. There it is, the 8 of diamonds. And Spamenka gets there. But Pamela's got a queen of diamonds redraw. This is a tough hand for Pamela to get away from here, because she's not only does she have top pair, she's got the queen of diamonds redraw. But she's going to throw it away. Wow. Not sure what the bet was on the turn there.
Well, Spanky moved all in.
I'm just not sure how much it was. So,
Too much, I guess.
yeah, too much.
There we go. It looks like about $90.
Well, there you go. Okay. Well, good laydown by Pamela there.
Yes. Remember, it was a limped pot.
Exactly. Yeah, they say you never want to go broke in a limp pot, no matter what your hand is. So you got to play with Andy Block, I know, for a while, didn't you? Mm-hmm. What did you think of his play?
She went to play blackjack. Took a little from corporation and came back.
So I played with him as well, obviously. My first table. He
Yeah.
got moved to my first table. And I was doing pretty well in the... We're talking about the Legends of Poker main event here, by the way. And Andy got moved to my table probably about an hour and a half into the tournament. And I know during the second day he was at your table, so...
Right.
That's like the blank got that one.
He got involved in this one hand. I was real curious. I did go up and ask him about it yesterday because,
There's no hand that he doesn't like.
well, I'll explain it after this hand here.
Flops all diamonds here.
Nicole has the top pair.
Nicole's top pair. Eulette's got a queen of diamonds in her hand. Gets checked around, and Eulette gets there.
You look at your
And Hake has nothing. It is 10-5.
Oh, yeah, you have to show.
I knew it was coming.
Show us a bluff.
Interesting.
I knew it was coming.
Nicole actually checked that flop with the king.
Uh-oh.
That's all?
That's all.
Time to go.
I think your diamonds are higher than mine. I'm out.
Andy had gotten involved in some pots. Lost some chips, and I know from what he said on one of the hands he had kings.
Cheers to everybody.
Well, following that,
Good luck.
he got involved in his hand that wasn't that there wasn't that many chips pre-flop.
I hope this is
And the board was
this is for me.
King 8-4. The turn was an 8. Well, he called the bet on the flop. Their turn was an 8, and his opponent had bet about $8,000, which was a little more than the pot.
Right.
And Andy called. When the guy turned over his pocket fours, showing a forest full of 8s, Andy bucked his cards with one card to come. And I thought, now what could he have possibly had to where he was drawn totally dead that he called an $8,000 bet? And then I
So it
think,
was King 8-4-8.
right. And then I'm thinking, okay, 5-6,
Is there a flush
6-7,
draw or something like that?
5-7. He called when I didn't remember the flush draw, but I had to come, to the conclusion that he probably was drawn for a flush draw because the gut shot straight didn't make sense to me. And when I asked him yesterday, he did indeed say that he was drawn to the nut flush draw, but the board was already paired, and it was more than a pot-sized bet out there. It just didn't make sense to me.
Right.
But he outlasted me, so he's doing something.
Yeah, I think he now got knocked out about 27th or so, right?
Somewhere in there.
And they're having fun. We are at the Bicycle Casino in Bell Gardens, California, about 10 miles south of Los Angeles. And we're drinking,
I was
we're
gonna
gambling,
say,
and we're having a good time.
Do that is I never pay for it.
if you don't want to play, come and pick up on some drunken ladies.
Exactly, there you go. I mean, hey, you've got poker, you've got chips, you've got alcohol, and you've got cleavage.
Yep.
Can't
what
beat
more,
it.
What more? Yeah. What more could you want?
The other one, I'm not gonna tell you. Only it was top pair.
So I'm actually I wanted to invite you September 17th. I think I'm going to have a little poker game at my house.
Okay. And you're telling everybody out there so they all
Hey, if
crash
they know
it?
where I live, they can come.
Okay.
So, starting, I believe, September 12th, we're going to be switching to Monday through Friday.
Right.
So it'll be my first Saturday off in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to have a little poker party / tournament or whatever at my house. So
7-way action here. A flop with Queen Jack 3.
Queen Jack 3, huh? A couple of queens out there.
Right.
You,
And
Led, and Evelyn both have queens.
Evelyn led out there with a Queen 6 kicker. Yolette just calls on the button.
Wow, really? With
That's-
two callers in between, I'm not sure I like that play.
No.
There's just too much of a draw. There's too many draws out there with two face cards.
We still have 5 people in the pot.
Wow. Pamela firing out there. And Haig's out there on a... Wow. Still just a smooth check call here.
Yeah, Haig's calling for try to hit trips and hope that they're good.
And Patty's in there with King 3. Patty gets there with the flush draw. Wow. Patty called with bottom pair. And that's the reason Yolette didn't protect her hand.
Well,
and
it's
she
not
got
just
killed.
bottom pair. Yeah, not just bottom pair. On the turn, right.
Well, on the
she
that's what I
didn't
mean.
protect her hand. On the turn, she makes the opening straight draw, the flush draw, bottom pair.
Right, then it's too late. You're not getting rid of her.
Right.
But on the flop, though,
Yolette could have protected her hand.
easily.
Yes.
Throwing a nice size raise there. You definitely get rid of Patty. You probably get rid of Haig, obviously, who's in there winging a prayer anyway.
And now he's got a lot to think about here. Because he has 2 pair and
And he even says it. He says, I have 2 pairs. Haig throws away 2 pair.
No balls.
Bye, Yolette. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good lay down. Good lay down.
Mommy, show us a bluff. Show us a bluff. Show us a bluff.
No! Oh, no, bluff, one pair.
That's good, baby. Very good, baby.
One pair, I knew. I got a technical thing together.
This game doesn't matter. It's just a fun game.
I know, I'm here to make sure you guys have a good time. I don't even know how to play no limit. Me too.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, we just got word that everybody is still in the ladies' event. So we have all 6 people in the event. We'll find out who is the chip leader. Do we know who the chip leader is? Marsha Wagner and Jennifer Tilly.
Go, Marsha.
He said he played one pair, so
Go, Marsha.
Yeah, king.
Oh, Bart is missing some crazy and wild action tonight.
Hey. Only, right?
Now, our Legends of Poker event concludes tonight with our World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational. But our next big tournament will be Poker October, starting September 29th.
And there's some good ones in there.
Yeah, Poker October starting in September, and obviously goes through October. Not a bad flop for Patty there. She's picked up top pair with the flush draw. It's 3 spades, ace 9 5. No, ace 10 5. Thank you. Of spades.
she's so fast with that.
You finished, right? You finished your race, right?
Go all in. If you go all in, I'll run around the casino with my
Who's gonna go all in?
And Sean's got no spade, no pair,
Wait for me.
a gut shot. She's in real bad shape.
What the hell you? How much is that? Only $80?
Somebody raised.
Haig actually raised.
Wow.
Can I make more or no?
Well, Haig won a little money. He's trying to give it back.
And
It's
you must not
impossible.
be familiar with Patty's play.
It's just impossible for you to really make any rhyme and reason of Haig's play.
Couldn't even get a spade.
You don't want a spade? You want a spade? Would you like a spade, sir?
Yeah, Patty's real, and like I said, she's really, really aggressive. I'm not sure if she's a winning player or not. Obviously, it's not really any of my business if she's a winning player or not. As long as it's her chips, she can put them in.
I was going to say, it's your business to take her money when you're at the table with her.
Right, exactly. I always say, hey, if somebody else's, if you're putting in my chips, well, then I can tell you how to play. Otherwise, if you're putting in your chips,
Yeah.
do with them as you please.
What time does it end?
How does it feel to be the only man?
10?
Good, but I'm not.
It's a long day.
Girls aren't really paying too much attention.
I can't tell you how good it is to have you in the booth, Shirley.
Instead
I'm
of
getting-
Bart, that's what I'm thinking.
God,
I'm
I'm
thinking the
getting
same
so
thing right
sick
now.
of him. Blah, 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 all day long. It's like I wake up in the middle of the night screaming, "No, Bart!"
Go.
You know? Him saying something about counterfeiting or 2 pairs.
Yeah, there you go. He's still defending 2 pairs.
You got a king 8-4 flop rainbow there. You let's flop the bottom 2 pair. You let's flop bottom 2 pair. Let's see how she plays it here. She's going to bet it straight out. Pretty straightforward play here. Vicky's got pocket 9s. Let's see if she gets away from it.
Never mind.
And she calls, I think. Can't quite see. Spanky's hair was in the way. No, Spanky. Okay, all right, there it is. Seat 8. Vicky did throw away her pocket 9s, and Yulette takes it down with bottom 2 pair.
Yes.
Why would I feel uncomfortable?
Oh, my God.
Listen, I've been in some locker rooms that I get uncomfortable with some of the guys.
Actually, Yana's on vacation, I heard. Speaking of
I
Spanky.
heard she's on a leave of absence. But
Either way, but, I mean, she's not here.
What's the real story, David?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I know she got suspended once for some sort of, a fight or something like that. And for those familiar with the old days of 2+2,
See, they don't know Yana the way we know Yana.
No, but some
They think
people-
we Yana bash.
No. I mean, I actually like Yana. She's a nice girl. But those familiar with the old days of Live at the Bike will remember one of the shows I had with Yana. And that was interesting.
Yeah,
to
you
say the
guys
least.
fought like a married couple. Which
Oh,
you probably don't even fight like that with your wife.
No, God, no.
You wouldn't be married for 4 years celebrating your anniversary
No,
today.
definitely not here. And
And as much as she argues, you heard her argue on here, she does with each and every one of us on the floor, including customers. And Go on, someone.
Haig takes it down. Not even sure what Haig had there, but I'm sure it was not a pair. But Haig takes it down there. He decided not to show us his cards.
Who's coming soon?
And a night like tonight, I mean, a game like tonight kind of reminds me at least, and should remind everybody, that in the end, poker is kind of big business now, and it's a lot about money, and obviously a lot of us do it for a living. But most of us who started playing it, we played it for fun.
Right.
And we had a really good time playing it. And still the majority of people that do play it, play for have fun.
Right.
So keep that in mind when you're playing. And also keep things in perspective in light of everything that's going on in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And, God, everything's been going on in the last couple of years. When your pocket aces get cracked because some schmo called you with King Jack, called a big raise with King Jack, hey, it's just poker.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little money. Things could always be worse. Okay, Haig's actually got a pair here. He's got top pair. So, there you go. He bets $20. This is great. Shirley has gone out and bought like 5 packages of candy for us. So
he told me he wanted candy, and I
we're
didn't know which one, so I got
wired.
them all.
And Haig takes it down.
How much?
$40 ladies, huh?
Tell me, what time's your husband?
It's Sunday.
I don't go to have fun. I go to win.
You know how I found that out? I asked her what time her husband's picking her up. She said he's
Once again, we're live at the bike. I am David Tuckman, and I'm here with Shirley Rosario. We are watching No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are $3 and $5. Restricted buy-in game, $200 buy-in game. But it's been going on for a couple hours now, so there are more chips on the table. And here we go, heads-up action here. Haig and Nicole. And Haig's flopped a set of 5s. See how he does.
Diamond's not coming. Get out of my pocket.
Problem with Haig is
Wow, Nicole's.
the problem is Haig would call this with anything. But
He's not calling.
no, he's not calling anymore.
No, he moved all in. He said all in.
Well, he doesn't have a diamond in his hand, so he wants to protect it in case Nicole does.
You did.
Only said all in.
I can't call that. That's too much for me.
Yeah, no, Nicole, 10-8 of clubs there. Yeah, she can't call that.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate because I was saying, her game's pretty predictable. She doesn't normally make moves like that, and then she chooses to make one when Haig
Yeah.
has that monster hand.
Kind of stepped into it there.
well played at the start.
Just call one more time. She guaranteed that. You don't have to tell,
What
right?
if she makes
She can't make anything. She has
So the one thing I will give the women, they do have more fun when they play. Don't you agree?
Without a
They're all
doubt.
smiling and have fun.
I mean, and it seems like nobody even cares if they're losing or winning.
Uh-huh.
I know, that's what I'm saying. With friends like this, you don't.
Patty is actually posting behind the button. The button's in seat 1, small blinds in seat 2, big blinds in seat 3, and Patty, who left the game, is posting, which means she has to put in a small blind and big blind bet, which is $8. And her $3 is dead money. That's put right in the middle of the pot.
10 minutes.
1 minute. She keeps on saying that.
10 minutes.
10 more?
That's what I used to tell my daughter. When are
Michael.
we going to get to some place? In 50 minutes.
And then 15 minutes.
Patty raises it up with 4-3 of hearts here. Pot's $45.
Every time.
And both players outflop her.
Mm-hmm. Haig's leading out into it.
Now, Roulette does have a 9 of diamonds.
And top pair.
Oh. And Haig is so aggressive that, I mean, it's amazing she just lays it down so easily to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do we say?
Now, Patty doesn't have if it was 4-3 of diamonds, obviously. But I don't think she can, yeah. People are laughing. So money flies around.
And Mr. Big
So what's the next big tournament you'll be playing in? Or small tournament, that is.
The only one that I know for sure I'll be playing is on September 12th. It's in Omaha at the California State Poker Championship.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All
right, that starts in the
I'm
next-
sure I will play some more before then, but that one I know for sure.
Right.
I'll be playing, for some reason, my Omaha game is just, I'm right on right now.
Right. Hey, take
sometimes
advantage
you
of
go
it.
through that, yeah. And I'm feeling more confident in my play than ever.
Is he buying us dinner?
Yes,
From the grill?
I find that
if you'd like.
At 10
when my Hold'em game is really, really on, you know, sometimes my stud game is not quite as on. So I'll try to like kind of maximize my Hold'em play, and vice
Right.
versa, obviously.
Right.
And hey, if you're feeling good about a game, you're feeling confident, might as well take advantage of it. No point in sitting on the sideline.
I did. I tried it.
That's why you're only taking money from me, not from them. See, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's
Maybe you should take your top off and I won't take your
is that an offer? I wish.
Yes. Sure.
You know, you're-
Do I have cards in front of me?
And it gets checked around here. Queen, Jack, 4 flop. 6 on the turn here. Pamela's got the best hand here. Jack 10. Pair of jacks with 10 kicker.
Go all in.
I'm surprised she checked again.
In the cutoff
Well,
seat, yeah.
she shouldn't check now. I would imagine she'll put something in.
Well, now Nicole's going to fire at it. Maybe try to see if she can win it with bottom pair.
Better than mine. I can't. See, mine's only worth 5.
Yeah, the Jack. That's
And Pamela actually just smooth called that bet by Nicole.
why to offer? She gets good cuts.
And Nicole's game in this table actually is much different from the game I usually play with her, to be honest. Maybe playing with 8 other women and, well, 7 other women in Hague is kind of, you know, loosening her up a little bit. She's having a good time.
That's the story of my life.
Hey, give me some hands so I can go all in with him. He's the only one who plays here. Everyone is kind of good by.
I don't remember ever saying anything like that. Is that right?
Oh, what are you referring to?
I'm referring to Barron's post on 2+2 that I was complaining about not being able to beat bad players. I never said that.
Right, well, I guess he's referring to the fact that you're saying that
ladies'
sometimes
tournament?
it's difficult to play against players. It's hard to put a beginner player on a hand.
That's true. I had to change
Right.
my strategy, and I didn't beat them. But I'm
Right.
not certainly not complaining about it.
No, clearly, it's obviously it's different.
I want to set a table, 9-handed table with 8 horrible players. That's the dream. But trying to put them on a hand sometimes is difficult. But I'm certainly not going to complain that they're in there.
I just bet 20.
I call.
Have a 35 again.
No, but close.
We've got a ace 5, king 7 out there. Patty's actually got top pair. She got ace queen. Get it up there in a second.
Is that good enough?
There it is. Patty's ace queen. And Hague is, for an owner of the casino, not being very helpful with his cards. And he throws it away and Patty takes it down. Obviously, when you're playing against players, there are a lot of sophisticated poker moves that you and I, and like you see Barry Greenstein, know. And most good poker players will agree with you, will agree with anybody, will say, it's, all those sophisticated moves kind of go out the window when you're playing against a player who doesn't have the experience to even know what you're
To
trying to do.
acknowledge that, yeah.
exactly.
Right.
If you're trying to represent the hand, and they're not even sure what they have, well, they're certainly not worried about what you have. What you have too. So it's kind of like you're forced to change strategy in that kind of
Right.
sense. So sometimes playing against bad players can be challenging.
Yes.
And I don't want to say bad, but less experienced, say. Get a raise here. $15.
Miss Boo.
And I believe
Anybody call?
that was Vicky there with pocket 8s. And the flop comes out Queen Jack 4 there. Pamela's outflopped her. And Pamela's got the best hand here right now.
Yeah, Nicole has a spade draw here. She has a pair and a spade draw, so she probably will stay in.
I raised. You called the raise with 6-8. Suited, but you know what?
Nicole called.
I got 2. I could call.
And Spamanka throws away bottom pair there. Patty gets her out of there. And it's heads up here between Pamela and Nicole. There's a king. That's going to give Nicole an open-ended straight draw plus the flush draw. And she does not get there, the queen. Pamela's got the best hand here. 3 queens. I mean, I think one of the most important things, being a professional poker player, being any kind of poker player, especially if you're trying to make money, one of the most important things is to being able to change your game. We were talking to Doyle Brunson about it and saying, you know, obviously the best players in the world are able to adapt, whether they're playing tournaments, whether they're playing live games, whether they're playing with a bunch of players that are inexperienced and really loose, or, you know, a bunch of tight, solid rocks. Well, not solid, tight rocks, say.
Right.
And being able to adapt your game. You know, there's always that saying, never try to bluff.
An idiot.
Yeah.
That's my.
Don't bluff
Yeah.
an idiot, you know, because
Right.
they don't know what you're trying to do.
Oh my God, it's such a low game.
And sometimes that can actually prove tougher in the sense of, I mean, I love playing against players that don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But if I'm not hitting flops, I know I'm not going to make any money.
Right.
It's just something you have to deal with. Sean's flopped a open-ended straight draw there.
And she'll probably be able to pick up the pot with
I
that
would
bet
imagine,
there.
yeah. She bet about 20, I think. Into about a $20 pot here. Patty's got nothing.
Are you guys done? It's my turn. Can you make me?
And when Sean bets, if I don't have something, I'm not going to call on especially the overcards.
Right.
Sean's tight enough that she's earned my respect. I might play back at her, but certainly not going to call her.
She's got pocket seven. 6 or pocket 7.
Actually, on the first day, in day 1B, the one I played in, and the one you played in as well, I was actually doing, I had about 17,000 chips at about, say, 8 o'clock or so, 9 o'clock. And I'd say at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I got moved to another table. And I was happy at the move because I got moved to Genocide's table, actually, Jennifer. And we were talking about the table, and it was really interesting. I was glad because the table was in the middle of the room, so I knew I wouldn't get moved again. So I was like, okay, good, I can really get to know these people at the table and figure it out. And it was interesting because every single flop was going 3 or 4 handed. You know, it wasn't like normal tournament play, which is usually heads up. Sometimes, you know, just raise, everybody folds. This was like, 3, 4, sometimes 5 handed, which I loved because I figured, okay, if I can hit a flop or two, I'm going to get a lot of chips. Unfortunately for me, for 3 hours, I really couldn't hit a flop. But, you know, I was looking, I much prefer that to, you know, a tight, nitty type table.
Do you? I like tight.
Do you?
Yeah, I like tight tables. Because of my aggressive style, it's very easy for me to run over them.
Yeah, okay.
So when I have a lot of people in the pot and stuff, I have to make some serious adjustments to my game, which sometimes, it depends on the situation. Sometimes I'm not as comfortable.
Let's see Patty here. Patty's actually flopped top set here. Spomenka's now drawing dead.
Yeah. She probably thinks she has 2 overcards, though.
She called the flop with 2 overcards, and in
Yes.
no limit, you generally don't call with overcards, do you?
It would depend on the size
On the
of the
situation,
pot.
obviously,
And,
but-
the
but-
size of the bet.
And a small bet, there's a small pot and everything. There's not much.
Not much to go after.
With no redraw. She had ace 10 of hearts there. The flop's 9, 6, 5, no hearts.
No hearts.
So you like a tighter table that you can control, and that's another way to go
I
too.
like to be, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny when you get a really tight table that you can kind of run over, and your aggressive play can kind of just steal pots here and there, and you can see some flops for cheap and then steal them on the flop. You don't necessarily need the hands, which is great.
Right.
Any 2 cards will do, especially if you're in position. But obviously, if you're playing a table that's, 3 or 4 callers are calling you down, and you've got to show down.
You have to show the goods.
Well, then you got to pick up cards. Well, at least
And
things
you're
that,
looking, you're looking for the big score on those, the home runs.
right.
I want to press that door for my position.
Get a raise here out of Nicole with ace 10 offsuit. She buys herself the button, and just Pamela and Haig left here. Haig's not one to throw away hands. Let's see what happens. Wow, she's going to call with king 6 of clubs. And Haig's going to call with 3, 5 of diamonds. And we'll see a flop. It's about a $70 pot right now. Wow. Haig flops bottom 2.
Hey, do you want a drink? Yeah.
Time I check.
You know, you're having
And Nicole checks, I think.
She did.
Yeah.
Only woman allowed.
Oh,
Seat open.
Haig is on fire.
Yes, he is.
Man,
You guys want to try?
She's
Jack
not
is like-
falling for it. She checks again.
the deck is like hitting him in the face. Wow.
And he will
I
not
mean,
get a call here.
He's got Queen Jack. The flop comes out Queen Queen Jack.
I know.
His
3-5,
pocket fives,
yeah.
he gets a set. Here he's 3-5, and he he flops 2 pair, turns a full house.
Well, you girls are lucky.
And I got nothing. Why you raise?
And he shows his hand.
I told you, I'm just scared.
Now, last night when I was talking about the one woman being a calling station, that was one situation, that I faced in a ladies tournament. And the ladies at the World Series, when I was playing on that final table, on my table, not final table, they wouldn't play a pot. They would only
Right.
play if they had a pair. They would only call if they had a pair.
That's beautiful.
So and this is what I'm talking about, my style. I would be in there raising with I'm talking anything.
If you
9-3,
had
I was
position
in there
like that.
raising. I was in there, and by the first break, which was, I think our rounds were hour-long rounds or something. We started with 1,000 in chips. By the first
Right.
break, I had 6,000 in chips.
Wow.
Yeah. I would not stop. I was relentless in picking up every pot I could. Finally, on one hand, I ended up getting called and having to show a 5-high flush draw. And then they didn't believe me. And then when I got dealt my pocket kings, I got paid off by 2 women and knocked 2 women out. And my chips just,
Wow, there you go.
skyrocketed. Yeah. And then,
Now that
my pairs and stuff like that didn't hold up. But
Mm.
those are the kind of tables that I like. The ones that I can just kind of
Right.
run over. The ones where your opponents are very easy to read. They bet when they have it. And they
Right.
don't
No,
know.
yeah, you love that.
Uh-huh.
I love that sometimes. I guess I was kind of licking my chops because I was looking at the pots, every single pot that night. Was I'm looking at them, they're like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 15,000 chips. I'm going, God, just pick me a hand, give me a
Yeah.
hand, any hand.
Just get in cheap and hit a home
That's
run.
what I was trying. I was
and
limping
just
in late
hope.
position with 9-10, Queen Jack, and all sorts of things like that, just to try to hit something.
Right.
And some nights you just got to kind of just chalk it up to just not your night.
Yeah.
Just not your
I
time.
actually like those situations too.
Yeah.
there are 2 players.
Evelyn, we haven't heard much from Evelyn there. She's got a second pair here with top kicker. Flop is King Queen 3, Rainbow. And she's going to bet it, and he's going to fall, and Evelyn takes it down. This is kind of like a home game feel, huh?
Yeah, it is.
That's like a kiss.
Well, especially because a lot of the women here are friends with each other.
Mm. And that's Brian there, showing the card in seat 2.
I think it was like a queen or a king.
Yeah, nice job there,
Haig
Brian.
doesn't get that card.
Oh,
We know that Kenna's in the house. Hopefully we can get him back here to say
well, I'm
hi to
assuming
him.
he's probably
Watching
obviously interested in the.
Marsha, yeah.
Okay, what are you betting on? 25.
This time guarantee he gives to you.
Okay, you know what?
So Spamenka has pocket jacks here.
And Haig is going to call here. I can see a 6, I
It looks
think.
like a 6.
3 players.
We got to get Haig's
Looks like
cards.
a six of spades.
69.
I checked.
And Nicole is in there with a gut shot, I believe, now, right? Yeah.
All in. 45.
But Spamenka's going to make it expensive, and she's going to take it down.
Letha Rose on 2+2 is asking if my strategy articles are worth reading. I would have to say yes. Sometimes when I'm sitting here, I talk a little faster than my mind works. I kind of
Right.
stupid once in a while. But when I write my articles, I really think about what I put into it. And actually, it's good if I can say so myself.
I think they're great.
You
I've
do?
read them.
Thank you.
I think they're really good.
Thank you.
Very happy.
I get a lot of compliments, especially on the Suited Connectors article.
Right.
That seems to be the favorite of everybody.
Well, what's interesting is even if somebody doesn't necessarily agree with some of your points, it's always interesting to get somebody else's point of view.
Right.
To me, I love like Poker Roundtable, where I can sit around with 6 or 7 people that I respect their game, and I just get differing opinions, and we
Right.
can debate and we can argue about them, and we go, okay, you guys are obviously wrong, I'm right, but hey,
Right.
it's good to know that there's other ideas out there.
Finally, you win
When I got knocked out of the big Legends event, that was one of the first things of course I call Steve because I tell Steve everything. I mean, every break I call him. I told him that I got knocked out, and he offered me his opinions on what he thought I might have been, done differently. And then, same thing. I called Mark, and he offered his opinion. And then I called one of my other friends, Mike, and he offered his opinions. And, of course, they're all different. None of them are going to say, they're not all going to say the same thing. But you can learn from, I learned from each one of them and different thoughts of how to play a hand.
Haig here has got 2 pair. Vicky had a flush draw, a straight draw. And she actually turned a straight draw, but didn't get there, obviously. And she can't call Haig's bet. And Haig takes it down. Haig is on fire. And fuego. As if Haig needs the money.
Yeah, really.
It's kind of like the irony of Barry Greenstein and Is it Barry Greenstein or Barry Greenstein?
I believe it's Greenstein.
Greenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's kind of the irony of Barry Greenstein and Johnny Chan chopping up the jackpot about a week ago, which I thought that was the funniest thing.
Yes.
Those two guys winning a jackpot. The pot was like $20,000 and the jackpot was $30,000.
Make it 20.
Actually, on September 12th, we'll be moving live to the bike to Monday to Friday.
Yes. There. 3 hours a night rather than the 4 hours. It's
6 to 9
6
p.m.
to 9
Pacific time. From Monday through Friday.
I know.
Cocktails?
Well, now the patas, I have to do it.
Oh, we didn't call that. I should have called.
5 players.
But then,
Okay, well, you think 3 jacks, okay.
oh, yeah, 10 coming. You have ace jack, I lose, right?
Let's got 10s here. She's in the small blind. She checked it around. The flop is King, Queen, 4 here. 2 clubs.
That's why I put 5, to see what's good.
Shan, very predictable. Top pair, she bets it. And she bets $50. Nobody can call her, I don't think. Let's see what Spamenka does here.
She is so pleasant.
Spamenka?
She's probably losing the most, I think, of everybody on here
Oh,
from my observations. And she's just as pleasant as ever.
Yes, I have to show the turning the river on the right.
Well, that's the, I mean, people didn't have chips in front of them. I don't think you'd have any idea who's winning at this table and who's losing,
Right.
which is great.
No, he hasn't. He wasn't doing
Get a bunch of grumpy men in there. They all grunt and smell and fart. And,
Cuss.
exactly.
I still remember the one.
time he took the
One of the first shows we did, this guy got sucked out on, and it was, I got to mute myself for this one.
Really? Yeah. So he got sucked out and he went bleep, 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 bleep. Okay.
Oh, it was so funny.
Well, there you go. We'll let you people fill in the blanks. But it was, there's actually not one word in that whole entire thing you can say.
No.
No. There you go.
3 players.
3 players here. Pot's about $40.
Wow.
Queen 8-8.
Previous hand.
Rainbow.
I'm usually running a couple hands.
Nobody has a queen, nobody has an 8.
Well, you put king in the board.
But Evelyn's going to come out and bet it, though. She's got ace 9.
They would do that just to taunt you.
And everybody calls.
And, yeah, normally the person that leads out will pick up the pot right there. And
Well, if she
if
bets
she can
again,
continue, yeah.
but it's a tough bet here.
It is a tough bet.
I mean,
Are you done with your coffee?
But Haig doesn't have, I was going to say, Haig doesn't have a hard time doing it.
2 queens, 2 8s. Jackpot, let's do it.
Now she's in trouble if Pamela calls.
100.
right, because actually I was
The
looking, I'm
kickers
going,
will come into
exactly,
play.
now because the ace
It's
played.
aces and queens now.
The river actually killed Evelyn's hand. And Pamela's looking at it going, wait a second. Very odd.
It's a tough call to make.
That's a real tough call to make. What I mean, because you got to look at the flop and go, what did she bet on the flop? You know, there's no draw out there. There's no straight draw. There's no nothing out there.
in the dark.
Pamela lays
I'm
down.
going to turn the light on.
Nice bet there by Evelyn. Takes it down.
She doesn't have to show you. You have to pay $40
Probably, I think she probably thought she had the best hand there.
Every month, I don't even watch it.
Probably. But if she thought she had the best hand, then that would mean that only someone with the worst hand is going to call her.
Well, I don't think she put anybody on a queen or an 8.
Right.
I think she thought the ace came and she had the best hand. That's why she bet it. She didn't. I don't think she knew that she had to bet it to actually win the pot.
Uh-huh.
But it was a nice bet.
So Kev Math was nice enough to give us updated chip counts, although they're probably 15 minutes old with the delay. This was at it was at 7 p.m. and we are now. What time, David?
7:28.
Okay, so half an hour old. So Cecilia Mortensen has a chip lead, and I would think Cecilia's going to do pretty well.
She's pretty aggressive, isn't she?
She's a tough player. She's a great player.
She is. Okay, I haven't played with her obviously, but she's got good coaching.
I like her game, and I like Isabel's game.
Pamela's got some kicker problems here. King Jack versus Ace Jack. But
And,
what do I
Pamela,
know?
yeah.
There you go. There, Pamela hits her 3-outer. Yeah, Cecilia. Obviously, she was final table at the World Series of Poker, and came in second or third.
In what, the ladies' event?
Yeah.
I don't think she did that well. I think she made got fourth.
Oh, fourth. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew she made the final 4 because I knew she was on the TV portion of it, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure exactly how well she had done. She came in 4th place to that, obviously. Here she's been invited to this, and she's a chip leader.
Right.
Obviously getting good coaching from her husband.
I would imagine, yeah.
And I think Carlos finished in 40th place, right around there, in the Legends of Poker main event.
I think so.
And look at this. Here's a chip count. Haig in the lead with 600. Patty's got 600. Sean with 300. And the rest you can see. And there's Spanky there, pulling up the rear. And Spanky's actually probably our big loser for tonight. She's rebought twice now. She's, that $100 is actually representing about 600 probably.
Did she do a 200 and a 200?
Yeah.
I didn't notice what her rebuys were.
I'm thinking, why is it so hot?
Yes, $600.
And 2 players here actually have Spamanka and Evelyn both have top pair. But Shanshan's in there. Shanshan and Nicole actually both have Queen 9. And
it's not a good card.
No.
For
See
either
who
one.
uses it.
Yes.
Shanshan's got position though, and she's going to bet it. No, she doesn't.
And
actually.
Shanshan's but she's leading out. So
She's
and
leading
her
out.
reputation, I would make a fold here. She's
Well-
only been betting, really strong hands.
Well, you're looking at this. If I'm Nicole, I'm going, okay, even if Shanshan doesn't have the ace and she has a queen, is my 9 kicker any good?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, Shanshan does take it down. Nicole lays it down. So we got Cecilia Mortensen with 325,000, Lily Elviro with 320,000, Marsha Wagner,
Miss Mizrachi, Miss Grinder. if
Mrs.
you don't
Grinder,
know,
huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't have his Mizrachi, the last name.
Marsha Wagner with 315,000. Go, Marsha. Jennifer Tilley with 290.
This is the Wives Club tonight.
Hey, seriously, Jennifer Tilley's
Phil Locks.
Phil Locks.
Girlfriend.
Just go right,
Marsha
girlfriend.
Wagner is Kenna James' wife.
Right.
Lily is Michael Mizrachi's wife. Cecilia is Carlos Mortensen's wife.
Where's my wife?
And Isabel's the hot single mama, and London is the woman who won last night's event.
There you go. And London is obviously pulling up the rear here with only 100,000 in chips left.
Set up,
I would
please.
imagine she's just extremely happy to have won $20,000 last night and gets to be on television.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, last year's winner of the ladies event who won her seat, Lavina Zhang, she could play. That girl played. She really was the only other person that stood up to Isabel and really played an aggressive game. And she ended up getting heads up with Isabel, and Isabel took her out. But I have to give credit to her. She had some great instincts and made some great moves.
Accommodation, nice restaurant, everything on the train, everything worked. Option. All of a sudden the lights go off for 45 minutes. Raise it. It's been raised.
And we're getting word that London Gallagher, the lady who won last night, actually just knocked out.
If I'd have known the lights were going to be off,
Just finished 6th place.
I would have given you some action.
Oh, that wasn't you?
All in.
All in. Is that Vicky?
I think Vicky's all in there. She's got an under pair with pocket fives.
And an open and straight
An
draw.
open and straight draw here.
I'm curious to know how much she's moving all in.
Yeah, now Haig actually, $50 only.
Okay. And Pamela's sitting here thinking.
Well, I can't imagine Haig
that-
going. Haig's got an open-ended, same exact
Right.
flush draw.
Well, he doesn't have a pair, but he has the flush draw and straight draw.
Right.
So Vicky has him at the moment, but it's going to be a tough one to hang on to.
Let's see. Well, that's okay. That would have got Pamela there.
And Vicky's going to win.
Wow.
You got a pair, you win.
Good aggressive play.
Beat it. Flush draw and pair.
Vicky doesn't look pleased.
No, she just won a pretty big pot. Her fives held up. That's something to cheer about.
Right. She just looked like
That-
a whatever.
Yeah.
I have to, but no cards. Not on card draw.
Thank you, Vicky. Small blind, big one, please. Thank you.
I cannot believe Ryan.
We are watching a $200 restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. Blinds are 3 and 5. It's kind of a ladies' night here at the Bicycle Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Not looking. Check it out.
We were actually discussing Coney going because she became famous pretty much from winning this event. I think 3 years ago now.
The first
The
inaugural.
first one
Mhm.
that she was invited to. Wasn't
Yes.
she invited to it?
Yes.
So she didn't even win her way into it. She
Right.
was invited to it and she win. And then suddenly now she's like, Mrs. Famous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll get to that in a second. Vicky here's got a flush draw. She's got the hearts.
Yeah, that's nice.
Haig's got top pair. Not much of a kicker, but kicker schmicker. Nicole's got him out kicked there at the 8.
Raise to 60.
Let's see what Nicole does here. Haig's going to raise it up to $60.
Pocket five more good? Oh, I'm sorry. She's in the hand.
Three players.
And 3 players, they all call the $60 bet. We get about a $225 pot brewing here.
Oh. What are you doing, David? I just saw new chip counts here.
75.
$75 bet here from Haig. Now, Haig does not have the best hand, but it's going to be a call from Vicky here. Vicky's now got the gut shot and the flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
75.
Wow, and this pot, we're brewing a huge pot here. And Nicole has the best hand. She's going to bet it again.
All in.
And I'm sure Haig's going to call her here.
Well,
And the 8 will play. It's your best 5 cards. They both have a pair of aces with a king, jack.
And he is calling.
I may be in trouble.
ace. Then 8.
Wow, and Nicole takes it down with with a garbage hand, really. Ace
Yes,
8
right.
offsuit. I mean, we're looking at ace 8 offsuit. Just won the biggest pot of the night, probably about a $700 pot.
I'm trying to get you guys out.
And that's a hand I wouldn't even wipe my ass with. I mean, that's an awful hand. It really is. Ace 8
Yes.
is one of my least favorite because you can't make a straight with it.
Right.
Rarely is the kicker good enough that you can really push with it.
Uh-huh.
But what do I know? I mean, that's a $700 pot that you just took down.
That was one of the things last night that Barry was discussing. One thing that I started taking into account in my game today was that in these type of games, like hands that can't, the aces that don't make straight, like ace 9 or something, you're
Right.
in position and you raise to pick up the blinds. What's that? He doesn't even do that. And I'm thinking, really, you don't do that? He says, no. In tournaments when there's antes involved, then he doesn't. And I thought, oh, wow, he's absolutely right. I do not play ace 9, ace 8 and stuff like that. But if I was in late position, I would try to pick up the blinds. But, realized after talking with Barry last night that it was pointless.
Well, especially, when the blinds are 25-25 or 25-50,
Uh-huh.
it's like you're risking 125 to win, 75 in chips. There's not enough there to make a difference.
Right.
Once the ante start, that's when I always think the real tournament starts.
Right.
We got an all-in here. Ace King versus 8-5. Flop is 9-9-6 here. Haig is in trouble. Not real trouble. He's got a lot of money.
Well, he has a.
Oh! Well, he's picked up a pair of 8s here, but now Vicky's got the backdoor flush. And she hits the backdoor flush. There you go.
That's a lot of cheering.
A lot of cheering for about a $40 pot.
I am going to take a short break, David, and I'm going to leave you with a lovely Linda Johnson.
Wow, there you go. Well, there we go. Shirley, just to let you guys know, we're going to get Linda Johnson in the commentating chair. The First Lady of Poker, World Series Poker Bracelet winner in the Raz event, and pretty much the everything of poker in the world of poker.
Men rule the world, so women have to stick behind each other, right?
That's not true.
Thank you, Joe.
And quick little chip count right now, 7:30 chip count. We've got Marcia Wagner in the lead here with 560,000 in chips, down to four-handed. Marcia Wagner, Cecilia Mortensen, Jennifer Tilly, and Lily Alviro are left.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Linda.
It's nice to be here.
How are you? Nice to meet you, too. Pleasure.
My pleasure.
It's my honor to meet you. Wow.
So we've been having fun in the other room with Ladies Night, the real World Poker Tour Ladies Night.
Right, how's that going?
It's going good. We've lost 2 players so far.
Okay.
London Gallagher, unfortunately, the winner from last night, didn't get any hands today. And,
Okay.
she only won like one small pot and eventually got blinded away. She went in with King Queen against 2 6s.
Okay.
And didn't hit. And then Isabel just went out with a bad beat. She had 2 queens against pocket 7s. Marcia had the 7s and 7 kings. So
Oh.
at the moment, Marcia's leading the tournament.
Well, I'd say bad beat, but I'm personally rooting for Marcia.
Okay.
Only because she's one of my personal favorites.
Yes.
So good for her.
Yeah, and Marcia's she's like me. We've been around forever, so you know.
Yeah,
kinda
exactly.
cool.
I'm kind of rooting for her. I'm like, oh, go
Yeah.
get her. And with Kenna having such a good showing in the main event,
Yeah.
it's only fitting. That
He
she
got
does well.
really unlucky a few times, and but he's just a great player, and he will certainly be back to the final table many times.
We know that, yeah, for sure. So, you won the World Series. You won your World Series of Poker bracelet in
1997.
1997 for Raz.
Raz, yes.
Wow, and is that your favorite game?
Well, it is now. It has been since '97. But actually, I prefer Omaha 8 or better or Chinese poker.
Okay, wow.
So it's kind of hard to find Chinese poker games on a regular basis.
Yeah,
in Las
it's not-
Vegas.
right.
I know you have them here at the bike every day, but
Yeah.
we don't have that many there in Vegas. So
Yeah, I haven't
play a
played
lot of
much of
Omaha.
Chinese poker, but I do enjoy watching it, and it's kind of a cool game in the sense of
yeah, well, you
putting
have to
3 cards
think,
out
and you
there.
get to play every hand. And,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
So
that's good.
this is a nice setup you got here.
Yeah, it's kind of it's pretty cool.
Wow, how'd you get all the ladies to play today? You just opened
We
it up?
bribed them.
Okay.
Haig
see Haig's
actually.
with them, yeah.
Haig bought them all drinks.
Oh, okay.
We figured bribing is the best way to do it here.
So we're playing no limit with what are the blinds there?
We've got a no limit hold'em game.
Uh-huh.
It's a $200 buy-in restricted game.
Oh, I played that earlier today. It was a lot of
The
fun.
blinds are $3 and $5. Yellow chips are 5, blues are 1. And Haig is going to bet 25 here with a 10-8 of diamonds here. And the flop is Queen 7. He's got nothing here, but nobody else has anything either, so he's going to take it down. And he shows his bluff.
Haig's certainly going to win his share of pots today.
Yeah, he actually had about $600-700 in front of him,
Oh,
and
so he
just
built the
lost
2
a
up to 6.
monster pot. Monster pot to Nicole in seat 5.
Haig's always a lot of fun to play with because he's very talkative at the table. And
Right.
I've had the pleasure of playing with him a few times, and it's entertaining. You never know what he has, and he's not afraid to move his chips around.
Well, a couple $100 for him, he doesn't really mind. Huh?
All in, 55.
So I was saying that sometimes I play the 20-40 limit hold'em with him, and he does that.
Somebody went all
I
in.
like this hand, but that's too much.
Vicky moves all in here with ace 10 offsuit, ace of clubs, and 10 of diamonds. And I don't think anybody can call her.
No, that's a pretty big bet
Yeah.
for a $5 blind game, 3-5.
I was going to say, oftentimes in this game, it doesn't make sense to me to move all in for $45, $50 when the blinds are only 3-5.
Yeah, I like to make a standard raise and keep that raise, to be my raise. You know, if you start raising with hands that you don't want to call with and making huge raises, and then on another, then you raise like 3 times, people are going to start to figure out after a while. So I like to make the standard raise of 3 to 4 times the big blind, whether I have a big hand or a small hand.
Right,
I'm going to
exactly.
make a raise.
So, just a little more history about you. Now, I know you then you purchased Card Player magazine. You and
In
some,
1992, some friends and I purchased Card Player magazine, and back then it was 65 pages. It was black and white newsprint, and within a year we had turned it into a glossy publication.
right, and you've turned it into what it is today. Now it is the premier publication, pretty much,
Yes,
for
it
card
is.
players.
And the Shulmans have done a great job. When we left, we were at about 130 pages, and they've got it up now to about 148 pages. And you know, they're doing a very nice job of running.
Well, look at this here. Now, Haig's got pocket kings,
Wow,
and Patty's got an open-ended straight draw on seat 9,
right.
and Spomenka's got top
got
pair.
It's going to be hard for everyone to get away from their
Yeah,
hand,
let's
except
see.
for the Queen Jack.
Get a call.
So,
Now, once again, Spomenka, she's had a tough night. She keeps getting top pair when somebody's had an overpair.
right.
She doesn't have much of a kicker, but she also doesn't have
She
many
doesn't have
chips
any
left.
chips. I'm sure she's not going to be able to get. Oh, she did.
Wow, good laydown.
Credit for her for laying that down. So, and Patty has to call with the open end straight. If the deuce comes, oh, look at that, 3 kings for Haig.
Yeah.
The deuce comes, Haig won't know what hit him. So, or a 7.
All in.
But now with his all-in bet, she definitely does not have the odds to call.
Well, he doesn't have any. Oh, he's got $100. Yeah. Yeah, she does not have the odds to make the call. However,
But
she does have
Patty's
8
a gambler.
cards. Yeah, she's got 8 out. So,
You have to give your boss $114.
Yeah, I want.
8 out with 1 card to go. It's about a 16%, right?
right. So she wasn't getting the right price, but she wants to gamble, and we'll
Let's
see if
see if
she's
she gets it.
rewarded for that.
Would you like to turn the cards over?
I don't want to see your card.
She doesn't know what Haig has.
I think you need to die now.
No, so close, but not quite.
No,
So,
yeah,
and 3
so close,
kings
but no
hold
cigar.
up. 3 kings hold up. So.
So then you relinquished control of card player. You sold it to the Shulmans
Yes, I
in
did.
2001.
Most of it, I finished, we kind of went in
Right.
stages. I sold a little bit each year and the final part last year.
Right.
And I'm still a columnist today. And
Right,
then
we know that.
When I retired as publisher, I bought Card Player Cruises with some other friends, and that's the company that I'm currently running.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that must have been one of the smartest investments.
Absolutely.
Investing in, okay, you got poker and cruises, and I'm like, wow, this woman is you are my idol. I mean, you get to go on all these
It's
cruises.
so
do you,
fun.
do you
Yes.
go on all of them?
I do. I go on all of them. I've been
Oh.
on probably 120 cruises by now. So, and maybe 80 of them have been poker cruises. And we actually set up a card room on the cruise. I go and I kind of help run the card room.
Wow.
Along with my partners, Mark Tenner and Jan Fisher, and the 3 of us, we love to cruise, and we have a really good working relationship. So it is heaven. It really is.
Oh, I mean, it just sounds great. Here, Spomenka here actually moved all in $75 with pocket jacks.
Is Haig going to call? Haig might call. He's got king.
Haig might call. He doesn't mind giving her some money. Let's see what he does.
Yes, he does call.
He's going to gamble it up. Let's see what happens. Come on, Jack.
I just want to be returned some money.
He just wants to return some money, he says. So
Small card.
let's see if he can or not. Oh, look at this.
10-10-9 here.
Yep, the jacks are in the lead.
So much for the poker face.
He definitely doesn't want to see a king come.
And for $5 more, he calls.
All right.
One more yellow.
He needs a king. Or some sort of runner.
Right. Well, no runner, because a jack would have to be in there, and that would make us a full house. So.
Well, I actually meant runner 10.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Oh, that is awful.
Wow. So
And Haig beats her.
I'll bet he actually feels bad about it. So.
Oh, he was trying to give her money back. He
I
knew
know.
it.
I think he feels bad that he got
Oh,
her. So.
and she's definitely had the roughest night. I mean, she's getting
Yeah.
killed.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping she'd get rewarded for making that good laydown last hand, but
And when I was saying that runner, obviously runner
yeah,
10s would be 4
You're
10s,
absolutely right.
and then
With
Haig's
a
king would play.
You're totally right. Certainly would have worked for Haig. And
So
I
now
was
you-
thinking of Jack Queen for straight.
So now you've got this card player cruise thing going on, which is obviously growing at leaps and bounds. I
Oh,
know
it's
that.
growing. All of our cruises sell out now. We're already sold out basically until next year,
Really?
2006. So, but it's so much fun, and people think they're expensive. They're really not.
No,
it's
they're
about $100
nothing.
a day. So, and it would cost you more than that for a hotel and 3 meals. And
Well, my wife and I, it's actually our anniversary today.
yeah, happy anniversary.
Thank
How
you
many
very
years?
much. 4 years.
Beautiful.
And we were looking for vacation spots, and we were like, okay, pricing out this and pricing
Yeah,
out like
the cruise
Hawaii
is
and
so
so.
much cheaper
And I'm going,
than anything
wow,
else.
I can go to the Mexican Riviera with you,
Yeah.
and if I play some good poker, maybe even make back the the cost.
That's right. I mean, our December cruise, even though it sold out, it was an 8-day cruise that started at $500. You know,
I mean, that's $500 for 8 days
that
on a
includes
cruise.
your
That's
food,
nothing.
That's your accommodations. That's your entertainment. Everything but your poker. So.
And is it just www.cardplayercruises.com?
That's right.
Okay.
www.cardplayercruises.com. You
Check
got
it out.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
And you get celebrities on the boat. You get poker stars on the boat.
We do.
You.
Yeah, we do seminars. I teach the beginners starting from what beats what, and then they have more fun than anybody. We have a beginner's class, and then we have a 1-2 game. Oh, we got action going on here. Somebody's got a full house.
Wow.
Against 3 aces.
Oh, and Spomenka again.
Oh.
Oh, poor Spomenka here. She's in just a heap of trouble again.
She needs a 5 or a 6 here.
Do it. Come on, do it.
5 or 6. Oh, no, not enough to beat
10
that
and
full
3's
house.
full. It's going to take this down.
Wow.
Now we see, I was going to say, and I imagine Spomenka's going to call this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to.
Oh, looks like she's
Oh.
raising.
Ooh. Not a good thing. Let's see. Is she going to go in? She just called.
Just called. Okay, good.
Good judgment.
I was going to say,
on her
sometimes in our bigger game, oftentimes we'll do a 10-20 no-limit blinds, or
part.
even
Ooh, that'd be fun.
last night we had the 25-50. Actually, last night we had the 50-100
Wow.
blinds.
Who was in that?
Last night we had, I think Yosh Nakano was in it. It was his game and his crew.
Oh, good.
And
So you
bunch
had
of
lots
other
of
players.
big pots.
Right, but the last few weeks we've been having 10-20 no-limit game, which is a regular here, and Kenna James has played in it a bunch. But we often see that kind of flop with somebody having an ace, and trip aces, obviously, with no kicker.
Right.
And they're able to get rid of it because they're looking at it going, I can't really beat much. I can't beat with an ace with a better kicker. I
Right.
can't
All you
beat
can beat
full
is a
house.
bluff. If
Right, exactly, in the end of
that's
it.
the case. So,
I often see players overplaying trips because they think, I've got trips. I must have the best hand.
yeah, people don't realize what other people can have. They're only looking at their own cards.
Exactly.
sometimes. Yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes you'll see a board of Jack 10-9, okay, and you've got Jack 4, and then the turn is a Jack, and you go, well, now I'm unbeatable.
Right.
Not really, no. So
Exactly. So this is great. I'll have to come down and play sometime in the.
We'd love to have you.
10-20 game. So. I think it's kind of cool to watch the women play for a change. Like, I'm really enjoying the ladies' night tournament. I mean, it's just a little bit different. They are having fun, but yet they are very serious about their poker, and they're playing very well back there. So,
yeah. Look at this. Haig actually backed into he had a gut shot straight draw. He's got the ass end of it. 7, 8, 9, 10 Jack Queen there. But it's good. Pamela's got just top pair with a deuce kicker. She can't beat much out there.
I don't think she could make this call, even though she is short stacked.
Yeah.
Good laydown.
Good laydown there. Haig is
And
known
he'll
to
show
bluff.
her. He'll show her a straight. That's nice. Okay.
You got the bottom straight. How about you?
Now, I mean, you've been in poker
She raises.
for the past
Since before you were born, I think, Dave.
maybe. I'm probably a little older than you think I am, but either
you
way.
know that title they call me, the First Lady of Poker? What that really means is the old lady of poker.
No, it's the first lady. Come on. But anyway, I was going to say, you've been around, and watched this amazing growth over the last, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And over the last 5 years, obviously, it's just been crazy. Could you have ever imagined it being this way? I mean, over 5,000 people in the World Series of Poker main event.
Who would have thought that?
I mean, it's
yeah.
insane.
It's so cool, and it makes me so proud to see our industry develop like this. And I mean, let's face it, once people try to play poker and get out there, they know how much fun it is, and it's such a great experience that they want to play more. And that's all it took now, is for people to have the opportunity to watch people play on TV and to see, hey, I can do this. And,
Yeah.
and everybody thinks that they can be a player. And, the good thing is, if you really want to be able to learn to play the game well, there's so many materials for you out there. There's, books and videos and software, and it's a game that you really can learn to play well. A lot of people have natural instinct, but even if you don't, you can teach yourself. And I do a lot of seminars around the country, and I always encourage people to, get your hands on every single book you can read, and
Right.
get a mentor, somebody whose play you respect, and take them to lunch and ask them questions, and write down the hands that you have questions on, and certainly read Card Player magazine. For they all the magazines are great. I'm partial to Card Player, of course,
Right.
and they definitely have the best strategists.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, and but you really can educate yourself to where you can make some money playing poker. In fact, we're having a conference. We hold an annual conference, which is the World Poker Players Conference. It's going to be November 12th this year. It'll be the first time on the East Coast. Normally it's in Vegas, but we're having it at Foxwoods.
And where can people find out about that?
They can go to our website, www.cardplayercruises.com.
Okay, and that'll be the seminar.
Yeah, and that's something we do to give back to the industry. A lot of the boot camps and the training sessions charge, thousands of dollars.
Right.
We charge basically just enough to cover the expenses of the day. It's $169, includes breakfast and lunch and, all the advertising we do and everything else. But we get people to volunteer their time and to give back to the industry. This year we've got a great slate of speakers, including Barry Tannenbaum and Mike Caro, he's the MC for the day, and Daniel Negreanu, Scotty Wynn, all the big names, and it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
It's great. I mean, especially considering in today's, poker environment, poker world, everybody's looking to cash in. Everybody's looking to see, where can I make money from this? And it's great to see that you guys are giving back to the game.
Yeah.
It's giving you guys so much.
Yeah. Well, I just love the idea of teaching poker, and I'm looking forward to retirement soon. And then once I do, I just want to do a lot of charity tournaments.
Why would you retire? Your job is so cool.
So I do have a cool job, but I want, like right now, I have so many commitments. I would love to be down there helping the people, in Mississippi and stuff like that. And I've started Red Cross training. I want to finish that and go and help with disaster relief and things like that. So.
Well, having said that, I actually mentioned it before how people should keep it in perspective, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get a bad beat, it's just a bad beat.
Yeah, and that's something, in the beginning when you first start playing, it's hard for you to do that. When you've seen as many, hundreds of thousands of hands as I have, you realize that, it's just going to happen. And, the things that are important in life, your love, your health, that's what really counts. And, if you can't afford to take a bad beat and if it devastates you that much, then you really shouldn't be playing poker. So
or lower level or something,
play
right?
For fun. Poker should enhance your life, not ruin your life,
Yeah,
so,
well said. That's great.
Well, I think I'm probably going to have to get back to... Okay.
Yeah, we've actually got this, kind of like wall of fame right behind you.
Wow. Okay. It'd be my
honor. We'd love you to sign it.
I'll do it. And thank you. This is a great show. I can't, I'm going to start watching this all the time now.
It's liveatthebike.com.
Yeah, I'll come and play, and I'll definitely watch it.
And the games are great. We've got different games every single night.
It's a very cool concept. So good luck to you and to the Bicycle Casino and to liveatthebike.com.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Okay,
pleasure.
Thanks for inviting me back. Maybe I'll get in the game later if the ladies' night ends soon enough.
Love to have you. Well, we're looking for our Sharpie pen, and once we do that, we'll get it.
I'll do it. All right.
And we're currently looking for a Sharpie pen. So if you have one, feel free to send one down. And we got word that Evelyn is actually looking for a Sharpie pen, and once she gets one, we will get our the lovely Linda Johnson to sign something. Oh, and there it is.
How about number 2? Number 2? Yeah. Not yet. Not yet?
Thank you.
And just for those at home wondering what she's done, now let's play poker. Linda Johnson. Love it.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Linda. Wow, what a treat.
That was a treat.
She is really like she says the old lady of poker, but she's like the first lady of poker. I mean,
right.
Not only is she kind of like a great ambassador to poker, but she happens to be a hell of a player.
Right.
I mean, she's got numerous final table finishes to the World Series. She's got a World Series of Poker bracelet in an open event.
You're right.
I mean,
one that counts.
Exactly. Well, they all count, but we're talking about.
I know what you're saying. So I see that my girl is knocked out in 5th place. Isabel.
Yeah.
Knocked down in 5th place. That's a little disappointing. And then I also wanted to point out that Tin Cup on 2+2 was asking about Jennifer Bankston. Jennifer still works here and is lovely as ever. She's just the sweetest girl. And she's here 5 days a week, but doesn't do the commentary as much. They did a lot of filling in for us when we were at the World Series, but now that me and David are back, they kind of stepped down and let us resume what we do. Right.
Base of 35.
But she's a sweetheart.
She is. It's wonderful.
Now everybody's quiet.
35.
Funny, nobody asked about Yana.
Oh, they are asking, but we decided that was probably not appropriate for us to discuss.
Oh.
You can send me a personal email, and I'll be happy to give you the juicy gossip.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing that's kind of cool, I am actually continuing, anybody that was familiar with it, I was doing my Under the Gun blog, Under the Gun with David Tuckman, the World Series. A few people have actually asked me to continue it, and I only think like 3 or 4 people are reading it anyway, so I figure if 50% of them want me to continue, I'm going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to kind of do like a weekly thing, a weekly blog, updating it.
It's hard to keep up with it, but that's
Yeah.
my favorite part on my website
Right,
is
okay.
writing, my journal.
And it'll be kind of be, what's going on, what happened in that week in poker.
Mm-hmm.
And I can talk about how bad I played in the main event in Legends. That'll be out in the next couple of days.
There's a lot of topic about, do you want a table full of tight opponents or loose opponents on 2+2?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was saying that, I want a bunch of, idiots at my table, and then I basically said totally opposite that when I said that I want some tight players at my table. Or I want tight
It's all.
players at
I
my
mean,
table.
sometimes it depends on the mood I'm in
It's
too.
just, yeah.
You know?
It's like everything else in poker. It's situational.
Exactly. The one thing I will say is the most important thing I want is a predictable player.
Right.
I don't care if they're tight. I don't care if they're loose. I don't care if they're aggressive. I just want if I can predict what they're going to do.
Right.
Hey, I don't care what they have.
That's right.
You know.
That's a good way of saying it. And I really don't have, it sounds like I'm complaining, but I don't have any complaints about last night. I did get my money in with the best of it, and,
Is this a play that you can order, or did he just...
the rest is just poker.
I mean, there's actually one guy on this on 2+2, and 2+2 is a thread that you can follow us on. It's a thread on 2+2 spelled out.com. Go to forums, go to tournaments, go to World Poker Tour and other events, and click on the Live at the Bike thread, and you can follow along with other people that watch this show. And SP Surfin actually says, actually it's not SP Surfin, somebody else says, Shirley, this is going back to my point, but are you really saying that you prefer 9 tight opponents rather than 9 loose ones? And I'll be honest with you, 9 loose opponents, especially if they're loose aggressive, that's a tough table to beat.
Right.
Because suddenly your big pairs really go down in value. When you raise with pocket kings and you get 7 callers, it's really tough to know where you're at. And it's kind of one of those things where you just kind of raise with the best hand, put your money with the best of it, and just hold on.
Yeah.
And hope that they're good.
Right.
Nicole's got pocket aces here. Let's see what happens here. Get back to the game here.
After this hand, I want to talk about Vicky for a second.
Really?
Yes.
She didn't yell at you, did she?
No.
Okay, good.
Me and Vicky actually get along well.
Good.
I know she gives you and Bart a hard time because you guys give her a hard time.
Actually, no, she doesn't give me a hard time. She only gives Bart a hard time.
Yeah.
She loves me.
Uh-huh.
She only gives Bart a hard time. I love Vicky. Vicky's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she is. So
And Nicole takes it down with pocket aces
pocket
here.
aces. She shows her hand. So while Linda was in here, I went outside to take a break, and Vicky had also taken a break, and she said, "Did you read my little bio slip that I filled out?" And I said, "No." So I am going to point it out. I thought it was a great answer.
Oh, super.
It asks on here, "Are you loose, aggressive, or tight?" And she said, "My boobs are loose, my mouth is aggressive, and my ass is tight."
Wow.
Pretty good answer.
Yeah, on that note, I just want to say happy anniversary to my lovely wife at home.
Go, Vicky.
Go, Vicky, go. Okay. Wow. And I thought this was a family show.
And Pamela in seat 1, when asked the same question, "Are you loose, aggressive, or tight?" she wrote, "Yes."
Yes.
Yes. Her favorite player is Doyle Brunson.
Yeah.
And she is a cattle rancher and associate producer of the Miss California America and Miss Nevada America pageants.
Well, we'll have to talk to them. Maybe we can get
she's
those
a
players
beautiful
here.
woman there. I used to do that stuff when I was in my
Did you?
teens. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Actually, a couple of the only places that I went to, have been to Mississippi and New Orleans both times when I was 18 for pageants for whatever United States title champions when I had won California and went out there for that.
And Yulette actually had bottom 2 pair. Predictably, she bets it there. The flop was Jack 4-3. And Pamela throws away top pair. She had Jack 7 there. Nice laydown by Pamela. Now that I think about the type of... If I could hand pick my perfect table, it would probably have 5 tight players. Let's say it was a 9-handed team. It would probably have 5 tight, predictable players. 5, where I know where they're at. They raise, they have it. They bet, they have it. And then it would probably have 3 pretty loose players. Which is, to me, it's the perfect makeup. If you have too many loose players, obviously, you really got to get hands. You can't bluff too much.
Right.
And vice versa, if it's all tight players, well, the pots are all small. It's kind of, there's no action at the table.
Yeah. Well, my answer, is 9 horrible players, but that doesn't necessarily mean, that all of them are playing loose or... I think
right.
there is a balance in there, 9 players that don't know what they're doing. You certainly want them getting their money in with the worst of it. But like you said, it's you're in for a wild ride.
Right, without doubt.
A bumpy ride.
Vicky raises it up with ace-7 offsuit here. Haig's gonna call with Jack-6. And, if you're going to raise with ace-7 offsuit, that's what you're hoping for, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's a nice flop, but she's not going to get any action. I
No.
mean, it's a bad flop as far as that's concerned.
And there you go. And Vicky, call up presses. Vicky gets no action. It's kind of funny. Sometimes a lot of beginning players or a couple of players that have read a few books and know, proper starting hands, they immediately kind of generalize players in the sense of, you know what cards to call pre-flop with or what cards to raise with pre-flop, so you must be a good player. Oh, and you call hands with, you'll call a raise with 9-7 or something like this, so you must be a bad player. And it's kind of funny how people immediately kind of generalize that way and going, you're an, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the starting hand police. Have you ever played with people like that?
Yeah, I can think of one right off the top of my head.
And it's almost funny in the sense of right, yeah. And
I see Isaac's laughing because he knows who I'm talking about.
But it's kind of funny. It's almost like a starting hand police in the sense of somebody raises with ace king, okay, and I'm on the button and I call with 4-5 suited, okay, and then I outflop them or outplay them and I beat them in a big hand, right? Flop comes out ace 4-5 and I went. And they immediately look at me like, oh, yeah, you keep calling that way, buddy. You're going to give them all your chips. I go, okay. And you almost want to just look at the person and go, it's a 7-card game. It's not just 2 cards. But these people insist on playing it that way. And we're going to see a flop 7-handed here. Queen, 4-6. A couple of diamonds out there. Pamela's got the nut flush draw. And it checks around, and now Pamela's picked up the gut shot as well. Vicky's got top pair, the king now. Trying to figure out what everybody else has here. A couple other pairs and so forth. And Patty is actually going to bet it here. She's got a pair of 6s here. Let's see what Pamela does on the button. And Pamela's going to move in.
42.
And Patty's got her beat right now. Let's see if Vicky throws away a pair of kings, though. No, Vicky's going to call here. So Patty's in really bad shape.
I think Vicky needs to put up $2 more. There you go.
And we got about a $150 pot now going to the river. And the river is 10. There you go. Vicky's picked up 2 pair. And she's going to take it down. It was odd. Pamela kind of played that real passively. On the flop, she actually checked it around and let Vicky get there on the turn.
I should have bet the flop. Nobody bet the flop. You should have bet the flop. How could I bet the flop? King 10. No, you should check bet the flop.
There was one very smart viewer. I think I might have been discussing it with you. I don't remember. I think I might have been discussing it with another prop, Mark, about how I was so bummed that I didn't have a voice recorder in here when I was listening to Barry. Thankfully I have the archive subscription, but one person on here, CW Siggy, said he recorded it, which I'm sure a lot of people are disappointed. Man, why didn't I think to grab my recorder?
Right. Well, if you didn't record it last night, Barry Greenstein was actually commentating for full 4 hours last night, and obviously anytime we get a chance to get Barry in here, we will. He is obviously one of the greatest players out there.
Yes.
Has tons of knowledge. I mean, he's just phenomenal.
Right.
And a great guy. I mean, really nice.
Very nice.
So you can access it by going to the archives.
And subscribing to that. For
Yeah, $14.95. Click on the on-demand banner. I think it's right underneath your.
I think so.
Right underneath your little Poker
Logo,
Babes
yeah,
logo.
right.
And $14.95 gets you last night's show, this show, every show. We probably got over 1,000 hours logged right now, plus access to a Howard Letter DVD. And we've actually got, I mean, the highlights of the last, 6-7 months. We've got Greg Raymer in here, Kenna James in here, obviously Barry last night in here. Doyle's been in here. And we promise to continue bringing you some great action.
Peggy-Let wins the pot there with trips.
Take it down, you let. And Pamela's going to get up and take a break here. She's done. And look at you let sporting the pokerbabes.com.
Yes.
Tank top, poker-babes.com. And if you go to liveatthebikes.com, actually, the link is on the top left of the new site. And that's
So they rearranged it, so it's
www.liveatthebikes.com.
probably not underneath me anymore.
Right.
I know I was on the bottom right.
You know she was hot back in the day.
That's not nice.
That's a compliment.
She's still hot. She's very nice looking.
She's
Serious.
beautiful.
You don't have to ask for her age.
And Linda Johnson, speaking of her, she's really been a visionary in the sense of poker. I mean, to be where it's been and then to see where it's going.
Right.
And to be along for the entire ride. I mean, what a trip.
Yeah.
These cruises, I want to go on one of those.
Yeah,
Have you
that
ever
would
been on
be.
one or no?
No, I haven't. I actually took my first cruise this year, but it was just a regular 3-day to Mexico cruise.
How was that?
It was actually fun.
You had a good time?
Yeah, I didn't think that it would be that great being, kind of locked up on a ship for 3 days, but it was fun. I had
And
great time.
once again, Spomenka, it's just not her night tonight. She gets out-flopped. She had the best hand before the flop, but gets out-flopped. Haig flops a pair of jacks here. And
He doesn't lie.
and Haig is...
Haig's trying to tell her, I have the best hand,
Yeah.
and I have a good kicker, so she's going to lay her hand down. And he will show his hand, I'm sure.
Haig does not want to beat her. He's already taken part of range.
He'll put the bet out there, and this is the one thing that I do say about the guys. They do play, a little soft on women, and I don't know if he's just doing that. He might do that with men too, because he's just in here to have fun. But a lot of times they'll still bet their hand, but then they'll tell you, what they have,
Right.
or they'll give you a bet back when they're finished, after they rake it in, and he just thinks I have to bet my hand because it's the best here, but don't call,
Right.
I don't keep your money, don't call, but I'm still going to bet my hand.
Well, I think in this case, Spomenka's obviously, she's had a bad night.
Yes.
Haig doesn't want to take any more of her money.
Right.
He feels bad already.
Plus customer service.
Exactly.
He owns the bicycle. He
I
wants to keep her happy.
guarantee you, if that was me,
Uh-huh.
he wouldn't have said a word. He loves. He actually showed me. There was one time he bluffed me out of a pot, and he loved it. He goes, I bluffed you, and he was just jumping up and down. It was almost worth losing the pot to see him
Just
jump
to see him jump up and down.
Yeah. And Nicole here, she's got the best hand here with Queen 9. The flop is Queen Jack 7. 5 of hearts. That brings 3 hearts on the table. Spomenka's the only one with a heart here, though. But Patty's going to bet it anyway.
Can you beat the big blind special?
Actually, Nicole is not in there with Queen 9.
Sorry,
She must have folded pre-flop, and we didn't catch that action.
Right. So your girl seems to be doing well in the ladies. She has a chip lead.
Go, Marcia, go. Rock on. Power to the people. Once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman, here with the lovely Shirley Rosario. We are watching No Limit Hold'em, $3 and $5 blinds, restricted buy-in games, $200 buy-in game. And it's kind of a ladies' night theme to go with the World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational tonight. That's taking place here. Down to 4 players.
We see Evelyn moved over to seat 1, so we'll be getting a new player there for seat 4.
I gotta go because my blind's coming up. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, there's a jackpot flop if you've ever seen one. Jack 10-9 of spades. Now, Nicole has top 2 pair. How do you play this if you're Nicole? Now,
Well, you have to lead out, but Vicky
Uh-oh.
does have her beat. But I mean, she has to bet it to see where she is.
right, and Spomenka
See,
here
I'm
actually
not
has
too-
the straight flush draw.
And Haig has something that we need to figure out. Okay, let me try to figure out where the action is. Nicole was on the button, so she could not lead out. She's last act. Looked like Spomenka led out.
No, actually, Vicky let out.
Vicky
Spomenka's
let out.
called. Vicky let out straight with her flush there. And there was a raise, and now Vicky's going to move all in. Looks like about $325.
I'm going to call you, right?
How much you have there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm calling you, so then,
I know, I just...
Spomenka's going to call here. She needs to get very lucky. I mean, she has 2 outs to win this pot.
No, she's got the 8 of spades, actually, so any spade.
You're right. I was thinking that she only had to
Had
hit the
right.
the
Had to
straight
hit
flush,
the queen
but
of the
no,
7.
Vicky's spades were only 6 high.
Right, but it turns out ace and queen of clubs come on the turn in the river, and
Vicky wins the pot. Thank
Vicky
you
takes
for
down.
correcting me on that one.
Yeah, no problem. But Spanky there, she only had, she had like $50 again.
I'm still cracking up. You keep calling her Spanky. Oh, man.
I don't think she minds. I think she likes it. We all love nicknames,
Yeah.
you know? No problem. There she is. Okay. Bada, bada, bada. How was the game last night, by the way? The 5100 no limit hold'em game.
It was, I was there for the first hour, so of course they usually, play a little tighter towards the
Yeah.
beginning. Looser later on down the line. It was pretty good. I mean, the one thing that Barry was pointing out was, when players had just lost a pot or when they were doing a rebuy and how they might play more hands, like Yosh. Yosh is now going to play more hands because he just lost with his pair
Right.
of queens. And so that was really interesting to see. There's just so much going on at the table at all times, and all these things that you might not pick up on and hear this experts, letting you know everything. You've got to watch this and you've got to watch that. And that was pretty cool. I think that overall it was just, an average game. You had a couple tighter players, a couple looser players in there. And it still was the
Don't
best.
worry, you didn't really miss anything there.
It was still the best show in my opinion.
Yeah, okay, great.
Because
Super. It was interesting, actually. We noticed that a while ago. Do you know Stefan, the Frenchman?
no, not by name.
Okay, well, he plays 30-60 limit usually, but he decided to play the no-limit game, the 10-20 blind game, with Kenna one night. And Kenna was doing pretty badly in the game, obviously. I think he's doing okay now, after $600,000 last
Yeah.
night. But he was doing badly, and Stefan was playing, he was playing tight as anything. I'm telling you, maybe in 3.5 hours, he maybe played 3 hands.
Uh-huh.
Well, then sure enough, he's in a hand with Jesus, our favorite.
I don't know who that is. I
No,
keep
well,
hearing
he's a
the reference, though.
he's a Friday night reference, so it's usually me and Bart on Friday night, and people that are regulars know who Jesus is. Jesus is Mr. Action on a Friday night. He plays 10-20. Well, Jesus flopped a set of 8s, and Stefan had no pair, had pocket jacks, and they ended up going broke on the hand and lost about, it was like a $9,000 pot, huge pot. And we go, watch Stefan now. He's only played 3 hands in the last 3 hours. Watch him play 15 in the next hour. And sure enough, boom, he started playing left and right, mixing it up, trying to get his money back. Mm-hmm. And it's usually...
No such thing.
Right, of course not. But it's very interesting to watch players. You can usually tell how somebody's playing if they... Oh, nice flop for Haig there, huh? Mm-hmm. Anyway, though, it's interesting to see how players, if you're focusing on somebody and you can see, okay, is this person stuck? Is this person winning already, and is he trying to protect his winnings? Mm-hmm. Is this person just starting out, or has he been here for 6 hours, and so forth? Because most players play differently in these different cases. Mm-hmm. Annie Duke likes to say that her strongest point of her play, this is what she says, she goes, my strongest point is that I play the same, whether I'm stuck, whether I'm down, beginning of a session or the end of a session. I play the same. Now, I've never played with Annie, so I don't know. But if she does, well, that's great. Mm-hmm. It's a great quality to
Very
have.
few players that can actually do
Oh,
that.
without a doubt. There are a lot of players that, if they're playing no limit and they're up $3,000 or $4,000, they're kind of protecting their winnings.
Right.
and then vice versa. If they're down $3,000, they're mixing it up to get their money back. So keep that in mind.
I mean, Barry last night was even saying, he's made bad decisions, or he's been there, basically been there, done that with. You lose a hand and you might play a hand bad because of it, and he admits to it. And
look at
if Annie Duke can be consistent throughout her poker career, wow, gotta hand it to her.
Right, I'm sure everybody has bad days.
Yeah, I just.
But all around to Evelyn there, she bets with the semi bluff there, king high. It actually was the best hand. She had a flush draw, and her king high was the best hand. She takes down. But it's hard. And like you blah. I'm gonna slap myself there.
It's a candy.
Exactly.
He can't talk with the candy in his mouth.
Like everybody else knows, it's difficult to play the same if you're down $5,000 and when you're up $5,000.
Yes.
It's really difficult.
Yes.
It tests you to the umpteenth level.
And I'll say, when I started playing online poker, that is online poker helped me grow in that part of my game more than anything. Is that I realized that when you're down and you're not playing the game, it's time to get up. When you're down, you still just need to make the best decisions that you can. Poker's a never-ending session, and blah 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 blah. I have gotten so much better at that, but that does not mean I'm a master at that. I mean, we still have a tendency to do that. At the table, I find that I play one hand, badly, and then the next hand I start to play badly, and it's like, okay, hold on.
Look at this.
Get up.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Vicky actually called him with king 7 of clubs. Haig flopped trips, and Vicky checked to Haig, and Haig bet it, trip sixes with a king kicker, and Vicky just check called.
400 is what I have.
I'd play there. I mean,
Well, she might be playing against Haig. Haig has a soft spot for Vicky. I don't know if you know that, but
No, I have no doubt. But in this case, she's got no pair, no draw, and
right.
I mean, okay, if you have hearts, even if you've got ace king, I'm not sure what she's looking to get there though. There's one thing that was really interesting. I remember when I was at the World Series in 2004, one of their sayings, I guess, or maybe it might have been on ESPN, it was one hand at a time. And I now tell myself that all the time. I say, okay, be present.
Right.
Don't try to think of the future. Don't think of what could happen if I win this tournament.
Right.
Be present. Be right in, one hand at a time.
Right.
Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that I'm not taking everything in, everything that's been happening in my head in the sense of, okay, this man's on a bad beat, this guy's tilting, and so forth.
He overvalues his aces, or he.
Right, exactly. I still have the
not aces,
knowledge,
but like ace rags.
I still take all the knowledge from past hands, but I'm focusing on one hand at a time, and I'm trying to play this one hand as well as I possibly can.
Right.
Whether that means even just folding it right away.
Right. And I think it was. Oh, we have pocket aces here.
Aces for Spomenka.
Spomenka, yay, go girl.
Well, she's in really good shape.
She is in good shape, but we'll see. I don't think she's going to get the action. Haig might give her some
Haig
action.
is going to call. Come on, Haig, call her.
Do it, Haig. Do it.
He might be scared to call her. Last time he called her, he sucked out on her.
See, he said, all the action she's given me, I'll give her some action. And now knowing the way that Haig's running, he's going to catch diamonds. 3 diamonds, that's it.
I mean, he's a huge underdog here.
Oh,
there's 1-4.
uh-huh.
Now, she has the ace of clubs in her hand, so he's really drawing slim.
I call.
And he's calling. How sweet is that? So he needs,
I mean, that is literally just giving money
yeah,
away.
he has 2 4s and 2 4s left in the deck.
Slow down.
Come on, no 4.
I want a 4.
There you go. Nut flush draw, and
It's all yours.
Spomenka wins.
No way you think
She can't believe it. She won a pot.
Well, there you go.
ace 4?
That might be the first pot of the night for her.
Yeah, I think so.
It's 2 hours and 21
Yeah, it must be. Everyone's clapping for her.
2 hours and 21 minutes into our webcast, and Spanky's won a pot.
What was?
Go, Spanky, go.
What were we talking about, David?
I have no idea.
Me neither. I
I
think it was good too, but.
think we're talking about just like in terms of poker play, in terms
Oh,
of.
I remember now.
Okay, go ahead.
We were talking about being in the moment. Scott Fishman had said something about
Yummy.
how all his candies.
What's
Scott Fishman had said something about when he's playing in a tournament that he's only playing his table. He's not trying to get through a field of 600. He's playing his 9 opponents. He's not paying attention.
That is huge.
He's not paying attention when the next break is or what's going on. It's just being in the moment. And, you know, I started doing that, and then I was even reminded about that when I came to play the main event here on Sunday. You know, I called Mark. That was Mark Safe. He's one of my best friends. And he said,
You have
Shirley,
cool friends.
you know, I do. I'm really lucky. He says, you aren't playing against everybody in the room. You're playing against your 9 opponents sitting at that table. So, you know, when I went in there, that's really what I tried to do, was to sit there and just focus on the 9 people I was playing against.
If you keep doing that,
We got a queen 8-4 flop here. Looks like Nicole's got a little piece of it, and so does Patty, obviously. But they both share the 9 kicker, so
Right.
Nicole's in bad shape.
Well, Nicole gets away from her hand. She has no problem getting away from her
Yeah,
hand.
there you go, and Patty takes it down. So you're talking to Mark, I'm sorry, and
I already said my
Yeah.
whole story, David.
Okay.
You don't want to pay attention. I'm not repeating it for you. Thank you very much.
shot down. Bam. Ow. Wow.
Yeah. Then it'll get crazy.
Reminds me of many moments with my lovely wife. It's kind of like
Tell them.
Snoopy, you know, the teacher. Wonk, 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 wonk. What? Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. No, but I know where you were going, obviously.
Yes.
Um,
Basically reiterating the point.
but it's huge what Scott
Stay in the
Fishman
moment.
said there in terms of he doesn't even care. He's only playing 9 players at a time, and that's what I did the first event of the World Series. 2,300 people, and people going, how are you going to beat 2,300? I don't have to beat 2,300. It's 9 at a time,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And it's not even like single table satellites in the sense of I have to beat any of these people. I don't have to knock anybody out.
Right.
You know, I'm just playing these people. And sure enough, the interesting thing is when you're playing against that many people, if you just play your game and you play one hand at a time, before you know it, you know, you're 4 or 5 levels in, and you look around and you go, wow, there's only 300 people left. You don't even realize it.
Right.
You're like, wow.
What's that, pair of 5? Send it.
Monster pair of 5s here. Nope. Haig with the monster pair of 6s.
Play my job.
You're going to show me your little Bible.
I'm going to show you my little Bible
this is
here.
This little poker Bible. That
It's
he
my own
takes
little
notes.
pipe, and it,
Here
like
it says, I noticed that one thing says, like, remember this. With the
Right here.
You the man, Dave.
right here.
Focused on
Focus on the hand in front of you.
One hand at a time.
And then I wrote here. Here. Stay present, one hand at a time. And it's like my own
This
little
is pretty
motto.
cool. This is pretty cool. It's all his little personal notes. You can't hardly see this, but it says, you're in good shape right now. Stay present. And then remember, you can't win during the next round, which is one thing that I really realized in this one because
Right.
the rounds were so long. It's like, on all these other really big buy-ins, I play my normal, really aggressive game. And in this one, I'm like, I have so much time, and I can really wait for those really great hands and those home run hands. And
Right.
you don't have to get in there with those 50-50s. You can get in there with, better than that.
Yeah.
And wait for better
And when
opportunities.
you say great hands, you don't necessarily mean great hands like pocket aces or pocket kings. You mean
No.
great opportunities, right?
I don't know. What did I say?
Well, you said great hands,
That-
but I know in the way you play, that doesn't necessarily mean sitting there waiting for. Some people will sit there with an hour and a half round, the 90-minute rounds, and sit there and wait for pocket aces or ace king.
Oh,
or
no,
queens
no,
or
no,
kings.
no.
And it's more of waiting for an opportunity of
The home runs is
I
what-
want
I
to
mean-
play against a guy like that.
Uh-huh.
I want to get in cheap, and I want to.
With my Jack 10 and hit 2 pair or hit the straight or hit even some draws. If you have Jack 10 of clubs and you hit a straight draw and a flush draw and end up scoring a home run on that hand.
Yeah, so I scribbled to myself in between rounds. Actually, it was actually interesting. I would come into this booth in between the rounds, kind of my own little private sanctuary, and write little notes to myself. A lot of good that did to me, obviously, for me.
Well, you should share some of these notes on your blog that you're doing.
Okay, maybe I will.
Yeah. This is what the people like.
Okay, this is the last part. Nice job, moron.
Way to get all your chips in there with Ace King versus King Jack. What were you thinking?
You idiot.
Uh-huh.
when I raise, you don't call, okay? Teach your lesson.
Talking now.
Oh, and I think Patty's ready to spank him or something. I don't know. She's getting feisty.
I am the partner. I want them to fold. That's why I raise.
Push. King 5.
that you have a...
And I got tell I got top pair, she's still pushing. Then she gets
King comes out, okay,
then I
right?
say I got
She knows that
and
you
she's
have
still
a...
pushing.
She knows that you have a lead card for her.
$40.
Otherwise, she wouldn't be able. Against me, I
Story,
couldn't call
story of my life.
That's great. Now I've got Isaac looking at my little black book.
I'll let you guys fight it out.
Yeah, you don't want to be between us.
Especially now with the hand of that.
No, the menage dry is not for us.
Now, I want to talk about the ladies' event
what a
tonight.
great club. I
You know,
have
I
great
have
knowledge.
I wouldn't even know. I have a friendship with Steve Lipscomb.
I need a diamond.
And I told him today when I saw him, great job. You know, I said, from a poker standpoint, I'm disappointed that you didn't invite me. As a business, you know, like looking at it in a business.
You're talking about the ladies' event
yeah,
tonight.
as a business
Who was in charge?
perspective,
Steve Lipscomb was in charge of inviting.
He did not. He not this year. He decided to pull back and let his
Okay, how much?
you know, big man in charge make the decisions because he's had to catch so much. He's caught so much flat. You know, he's gotten a lot of heat from it. So, as a business perspective, I think
You couldn't do whatever
they
you
did a
wanted.
great job. Did you see that, ladies? I mean,
Please call.
that's going to be great television. If not for, you know, the poker, not necessarily the poker. We'll see, you know, how many of them can actually play and if it's going to be really good poker.
Right.
That remains to be seen. But as far as the women that they chose, beautiful, beautiful women and great husbands that are going to be in the audience to make it even more appealing. You know, I mean, Carlos and Phil Lack sitting in the background and stuff like that. I think they did a good job from a business.
Right. No,
Business perspective.
Clearly, business perspective they have. It just kind of, we were talking about Cloney Go, and I just touched on it before. And it just, to me, it's kind of a joke, and this is no disrespect to Cloney. I know her. She's a very nice lady.
She is nice.
She's a sweetheart. But she's got, like, I mean, this everybody's paying her props, and, like, she's got all this publicity for what? I mean, what has she won? I mean, she won an invite-only six-person tournament?
Won a six-person tournament. Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, a lot of people could do that.
Right.
Not to demean her accomplishment. She won a six-person tournament. I mean, it's not that hard.
Right.
You know, I know Annie Duke and Kathy Liebert were in the tournament. Okay, but you know what?
Kathy kicks ass.
But
I
no,
love
she's a
Kathy.
great player. But I'm saying it's a six-person tournament. I mean, anybody can win. You can get lucky one night and boom, you hit it. And now it's kind of like it's funny almost. I mean, you see these full tilt ads and you see Phil Ivey with you know Phil Gordon and John Juanda and Howard Lederer, Chris Ferguson, and Cloney Going. We're going,
Oh, we got a man. Oh, you got
which one of these doesn't belong? You know, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And we were actually talking the other night, and I was saying, no disrespect to Cloney, but she's not 1/10 the player Shirley is.
Thank you.
And I don't mean
That's
that.
so sweet.
I'm not
Thank you.
kissing your ass or anything, but in all honesty, and your accomplishments outweigh her by tenfold. I haven't played with her much, but I did watch her play one night, and I wasn't overly impressed. It wasn't like I was like, "Wow, what a player!"
Right.
I mean, actually, I was like, "Wait a second, she's reading a Danielle Steele book or something
Right.
while she's playing poker."
Right.
I don't know any professional poker player that's playing for real money that's reading a book during a no-limit hold'em game. Now I know she was playing with her boyfriend, and that kind of put her off because she was in a position where she didn't want to re-raise him.
We never said that in the show.
What?
That it was her boyfriend. How'd
Oh.
you know that, David?
I'm a smart guy.
Uh-huh. I wanted to make sure that I didn't mention that while they were playing together. And
Right. No, it's okay, but it's
Kept
okay. I
an
mean,
eye
I've
on
played
it.
with my wife before, but I don't soft play. I'd rather raise her and not.
And they didn't. I was paying attention.
Yeah,
to it.
they
I
didn't-
just didn't want to mention it. Just because
Clearly, they weren't playing partners or anything.
Right.
If anything, it probably handicapped her play because she was put in spots where she didn't feel like re-raising it. But I just, to me, it's one of these things where the World Poker Tour and television has basically manufactured a star.
Yes.
Especially in Cloney's case.
Right.
And to me, it's a shame and ridiculous that you have not been invited to a ladies invite-only tournament.
Thank
Yeah.
you, but you're also saying that's thank you. Some of the women that are invited, you're not really have a lot of high respect for
No,
their
no, no, no.
decisions yet.
No,
how to
what I'm
say
saying
that.
is I'd like to see them invite people like Marcia Wagner,
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Linda Johnson, Cecilia
Barbara
Mortensen,
Enright.
Barbara Enright. I mean, these Kathy Liebert the first year, that was great. And obviously I don't mind, them inviting a couple of people here and there. But to me, it's long overdue that you haven't been invited.
Thank you. Okay, Vicky's doing on a pure bluff here, and
Yeah,
they
well, she's
hit-
got a flush draw, but that's she missed the
Flush
flush draw and
draw,
had to
yeah.
bet it. Well, she missed it. She had to bet, obviously, to win the
Uh-huh.
pot. But Hayes got 2 pair now. Runner, 2 pair.
Evelyn's paying off here with the 10 kicker.
Yeah.
It just
And you can see the difference there. Haig has a little bit less money now.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of didn't mind paying off Spanky there in seat 6, but he wanted to win this one. Didn't tell Evelyn that he had to win her. What was Evelyn doing in there? Ace 10 offsuit there.
I don't know.
Radio tournaments?
I'm physically not strong enough to play for 12 and 13 hours. I need my rest. I need my sex.
I've been playing for 32 hours constantly.
rock and roll. Thick blinds.
And we got a new player there. We got Arshock.
I want to point something out, and this is a bonus to all of you, and I hope that it works. I'm going to take Kev Math's word for it on 2+2. He put the Greenstein audio up on www.yousendit.com. So we were talking about, I didn't get to record it, and I can go and listen to it. So, or everybody can.
Right.
It's great.
Super.
Not bad, huh?
And Vicky's going to bet with Ace-Jack offsuit here. She's got top pair. The flop is Jack-3 deuce.
Oh, your kicker is too good.
Do apologize. Our normal card puncher-inner, Evelyn, is actually busy with the World Poker Tour Ladies event right now.
So we have Garo in.
We've got Garo in, and Garo does a hell of a job, but he's not as quick as Evelyn, obviously.
But he likes to point out what we're doing wrong.
Right,
He's
exactly.
telling us right now to let Kev Math know that our lawyers are going to be contacting him about posting Barry's audio on there.
There you go. Hint,
Of
hint,
course,
joke, joke.
yeah, joke. He's kidding. I hope he's kidding. He's laughing.
We're laughing. And look at them. The men are infiltrating. We've got Arshock in seat 7 and Jeremy in seat 4 coming in a second.
Where'd you go?
Okay, no raise.
Where'd you go? You.
Well, let's see if the kind of the feeling of the game changes as the men come in.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for reminding me.
It doesn't work.
I told you last time was on the You didn't collect it.
No, I have to do for the week. It's my last day.
And Nicole takes it down there. She raises with Queen 7 offsuit and takes it down. Kind of a steal bet there.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love like me. I'm a great boss. Give me Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Yes, sir.
Must be the Armenian thing.
It's okay. I didn't even hear you say sir.
I hear that too much.
Really?
It just gonna come out automatic.
You want to put blind or you don't?
No, she buys them, but way ahead of you.
I mean, it's interesting. Sometimes I hear, actually, people ask me, they go, well, if something works in the World Poker Tour, if something works in a tournament, why wouldn't it work in a cash game?
Mm-hmm.
And I try to point out the differences. I go, well, it could work in a cash game occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the plays are the same, obviously, but you've got to look at what you're trying to win. And in a tournament with the escalating blinds and eventual antes put in there, you've got to be more aggressive and try to accumulate all the chips.
Right, and you can't rebuy, and that first prize is usually for a huge amount of
Right, exactly.
lump sum, not getting $100 here or $200 there. I mean, you're
Right.
going for first.
Now, in a cash game, the difference is you don't necessarily have to win. You don't have to be the biggest winner. You can just win
Be a
$30, $40.
consistent winner.
If you're a consistent winner, you're fine.
Right.
Also, the blinds don't escalate. The blind all night. They stay 3-5. So if you're a solid player and you play smart the whole night, you don't make many mistakes, but you're not risking too much or gambling too much, well, you might not be the big winner for the night, but you'll probably be the more consistent winner over a long time.
Right.
But if you play that style in a tournament, okay, you might finish the money more often than, say, an aggressive gambler type player, but you might never actually win a tournament that way.
Right.
And since most of the money is in the first 3 spots of a tournament, it kind of pays to.
And that's one thing that
Queen 10.
one reason why I disagree with Bart about the tournament player versus cash game.
You and
Who's
Bart disagree
better.
about
Me and
things?
Bart disagree all the time, David. So, and he's joking, of course, because he did see us in here. He said we fight like a married couple or something to that effect, right?
Mm-hmm. I think he was being sarcastic.
So, anyways, I think that the cash game players, they can't make that adjustment either. You know, Bart always asks, can the tournament players make the adjustments to the cash games? And he says, and we see time and time again that they don't. But it can also be said for the other way, around. And actually, I think even more so, the cash game players can make the transition over there, but they have no idea of when it's appropriate or when it's necessary to take those 50-50s or when to get in there or I only have 5 times the amount of the big blind. This is probably going to be the best hand that I get within this round.
Right.
I should take my shot now before I get down to 3 blinds where my raise won't mean anything. So all those come into play, and so there really is some skills that tournament players have that a cash game player might not necessarily have. I have pocket kings here.
Vicky there.
Number 8,
pocket.
yeah, Vicky.
Now, seat 4 here, Jeremy. The new player's got pocket 10s in the small blind. Let's see what happens.
We're not familiar with his play, so... It's Spanky.
There it is. Not
Let's
Jeremy.
see what she does.
You know, it's funny. When I was about to say it looked like Spanky.
Yeah, she moved. So hopefully it's going to come a big flop and she's going to be able to get away from her hand. She's not going to be able to get away from this, I don't think.
6-5-3 rainbow flop here. Vicky's got kings. Jeremy's got 10s. The flop is 6-5-3 rainbow. Oh, I'm sorry. Flamenca. Thank you. Vicky's going to bet about $60 here.
Huh. So she might be able to get away from this. She's saying pocket kings or pocket aces.
None of us have anything left.
60.
Hey, give her credit for knowing that.
Well,
though.
no. You cannot give them credit for knowing if they're going to stick their chips in there.
Remember before when she goes, I know you have the flush, but then call it anyway?
Yeah, don't.
Don't know you're beat and then still call.
We don't want you to play.
She's calling.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm winning.
I want him to play. I need more money.
Oh, a 9. Close.
Just 5. Is she gonna raise?
As long as I get a hand.
I'm all in.
All in.
Something like that.
I cannot go all in.
Can I see your hand? No, I show you after the hand.
She gets pocket kings or queens or something.
See?
stupid like that.
She knows what she has, but she's still called the $60 stuff flop.
Right.
Come on, Spanky. Lay it down.
Pocket king stupid?
Pocket kings, pocket
It's not stupid, that's what you say.
The problem is that it's one of the rare times when I have my pockets and they're not good enough.
She folded.
Oh, there you go. Nice lay down.
She did lose 60, and Vicky showed her kings. She lost a little bit more than she should have because she made the read right away.
Right.
You got your deal
I mean,
now.
You know, as great of a player as Daniel is, that was one thing that I noticed about him in one of the Plaza tournaments was that he had made some incredible read, saying something like the only thing that you can have is ace-9, and Daniel's hand would not have been good. He sat there talking about it, and he said, but I'm going to call you. And he calls him. And the guy wins the pot, and Daniel pats himself on the back and says, well, at least, you know, I made a correct read. And Ted Forrest was sitting there saying,
Yeah, I wasn't talking.
So
that's
what?
not, yeah. He's like,
Who cares?
that's
Actually, you didn't make the
that's
correct read.
worse, Daniel. You knew what they had, and you still gave them your money.
That's not really making the correct read. That's kind of going, you probably have ace-9, but I'm going to call anyway because I don't believe myself.
Yeah.
So it's not really making the correct read.
Yeah.
Because if he made the read, he wouldn't have called.
Right.
And in this case, I mean, she made the read. She goes, no, I'm going to call. And then when she got another bet, she goes, oh, you must really be telling the
I
truth.
was
Okay,
right, yeah.
I'm going to throw it away.
63, 36.
Got ace-queen here versus king-queen. And a couple of deuces and 9s in there as well. Deuces get away from it pretty quickly, though.
Get some players. You want to play? Max, I get up.
And pocket, Roulette actually lays it down there. It's about a $60 bet pre-flop.
Make it 60 total.
Sure?
Haig raised it to $60. Oh, and Spamenka, it looks like she's thinking about calling $60 with king-queen offsuit. In this kind of game here, king-queen offsuit, I talk about it all the time. It's not a hand you want to call raises with. It's just easily dominated, especially in a cash game.
15 more. 30 more.
And
4 player.
I think an Arshock called here with 83 offsuit. Wow, $250 pot. Wow.
Nice flop raise queen.
Yeah, actually,
Let's see
nice.
if he's actually hit some pretty big.
Yeah, well, Spomenka here, she's just in a world of hurt again. She's got top pair with
With the
with
straight
an open-ended
draw.
straight draw. Oh gosh, poor Spanky.
Heads up.
Turns a 5 here. Oh, she called.
And she's drawing to a chop
She was
and
drawn to a
doesn't get
chop,
there.
Yeah.
King with a queen.
And I'll give her credit. I mean, that's a tough hand to get away from. King,
It is.
queen there.
It is, yes.
The king, jack, 10 board.
Sir, 9 cents.
And it's just not her night. I mean, it's one of those nights where it's not going like, just get up and leave. Go home.
On the flop.
Slow played it. Thank you.
When did you slow play it? You immediately raised.
So it looks like Miss Grinder has pulled out in front in the ladies' event.
Yeah?
Yes, and Marcia's hanging on in second. Cecilia is in fourth. And Jennifer Tilley. What? Take that back. Jennifer Tilley's in second. Marcia's in third. Cecilia's in fourth.
Wow. Kind of an interesting dynamic at the table. It's almost like you have Phil Locke.
Well, those are the four.
Grinder.
Yeah, those are the four wives. So the
Yeah.
only two that didn't have the husband or boyfriend.
Right. Well, let's give credit. I mean,
That
I
was
don't know about
poker
the other players. Obviously, all these ladies are good players in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
But heads up, Marcia versus Kenna. Who's going to win that one? I'm not sure. And Marcia's been around for a while. I mean, she's a heck of a player. Now, this Sunday, actually, if you are a woman, you can come down and play in our 12th annual Queen of Clubs, September 4th, Sunday at 2:15 p.m. The tournament starts. But get here at 11:30 in the morning because you get buffet and unlimited mimosas for just $30. Wow. I can drink a lot of mimosas. It's a bounty, no-limit bounty tournament, which means you get $5 for each person you eliminate. So even if you don't win the tournament, but you eliminate 6 people, you make your money back.
Right.
And you get mimosas in a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat that.
And I think that you get a free gift every time that I've played these. The first one they gave out a silver bracelet and then every time you go, they give you a charm to hang on that bracelet.
Wow.
And if they give you the charm now, you can actually buy the bracelet, I think, for $5 or $10 in the gift shop or at the front desk, and you could hang it on there.
Interesting here.
We have.
And we got 6 players here. Flop of what? 10, 9, 6 rainbow.
Betting 20.
Haig is in the lead here with a pair of 10s. That was actually 10-5 was actually my quiz question the other day. I'll ask you, see if you know the answer.
I already know the question.
Oh, there you go.
Does it have something to do with straight?
Yeah. And there's now the 6. Now Haig actually has a flush draw as well now. It's got top pair with a flush draw.
Betting 80.
But Patty also has a pair of 10s. But her 4, actually it would be a chop pot
It's
right
a
now.
chopped pot, yeah.
It's a chop
but
pot right now, but Haig is
Haig's
free rolling.
rolling.
Yeah. The 4 does not even, the 4 does not help Patty.
You got a hard draw?
Yeah. And some.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know what she has. She has 3 6s. I need a 10.
And you see Patty's aggressive style. She pushes it with even pretty marginal holdings.
Yeah, and he said I put her on 3 6s, so now she's going to bet strong.
Betting
He said I just have a 10. He's going to lay it down.
I knew you had flush draw.
Oh, I also got top pair.
Wow. And he lays it down.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I think he gave her a little bit too much respect
Yeah, well,
there.
he said that he knew she had a 6, and that's an easy bet into the river when the person's giving you a hand.
Right, exactly.
You know, you have a 6. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
bet it.
represent a 6.
It's the way to go about it. It was interesting after you and Bart had talked about that whole, tournament player versus cash player type thing. You and I had talked about it as well, and and I had said what I thought in the sense of, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a good player if you win one tournament.
Right.
But if you are a good tournament player, like Chris Ferguson, Phil Hellmuth, and other players that
Kathy
just like
Lieber.
Scott Fishman, you're obviously a good player. You're obviously a very good poker player. You're more of a specialist. The same way like Yoshi Nakano, I'm sure he's done okay in some tournaments, but I haven't heard his name very often.
No.
And he's much more well known for his cash game. He's an excellent cash game player, but he doesn't have that much tournament success because he plays it almost too tight. Doesn't gamble enough. Plays it,
Betting Tony.
I guess by the books, proper poker in a sense, which rarely will win you a tournament. But obviously he hasn't made the transition to be able to be successful in tournaments. And then there are a rare few that are able to be successful in both. I'm looking at Kenna. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know Kenna well enough in the sense of cash games. We've seen him lose pretty much regularly in the cash games on Live at the Bike, but then he goes ahead and wins $600,000.
Now, I would say that a tournament player that plays well in tournaments, and I'm using Ken as an example. He might be a successful cash game player, but I don't know. From what I've seen, we haven't seen win.
Right, exactly.
So, I would not constitute somebody like that as being a good poker player if he's going to go and do what he does best in a tournament play, and then go make bad decisions and put himself in a game that doesn't have a good, positive EV.
Right. Well, picking good games is part of being a good player.
Right. And if you know that tournament poker is where your money is, and that's where you make your money, and then yet you still choose to go and play in somewhere where you're not really making the money, then that's not a good.
Well, it's not good. It's certainly not good management.
Right. Well, money management. Well, all kinds of, not just money management, but game selection and
Game
all that.
selection and all that.
Is
right.
Some of the most important things to be in a good
right.
poker
But
player.
clearly, Kenna.
And I'm not going to say Kenna because I mean.
I don't think we haven't seen him enough to be able to judge him.
Right.
But in the sense of Kenna's game, he obviously is doing something right in tournament poker.
Yes.
His numerous final table finishes,
Yes.
second place yesterday. I mean, making well over $1 million in tournament winnings. Let's just see.
I think, maybe not this year, but pretty dang close. He won 550 yesterday, and then I think something like 100.
If not this year,
180 in the World Series.
His tournament record speaks for itself.
Right.
Now, can he make the transition to a cash game player? I don't know. I mean, Tuan Lee.
He might already.
Tuan Lee might be a great. Tuan Lee actually plays cash games and tournament games.
Right.
I'm not sure what he's better at or not.
Right. Well, he's been playing cash games longer than he's been playing tournaments. But we have seen that his style that he uses in tournaments is what it takes, to get the job done. I haven't really seen him play cash games. I'm curious to know, does he use the same style? Is he more tight when he's playing it, or does he use semi-bluffs when he's playing live
we saw
action?
him playing a 400-800 limit game, which from what I heard was a little small for him, and he was playing it a little reckless and pretty loose and aggressive, and like you'd imagine Tuan Lee would play. He seemed pretty live to me in that game. Now, I've heard that the game was a little too small for him, but once again, it goes back to what you just said in game selection. Why are you playing in a game that's too small for you? Especially if it's going to affect your judgment.
Can I get $1, ma'am?
But there are a few players. I mean, like, obviously Phil Ivey, Doyle Brunson, Barry Greenstein.
Right.
Who make that transition, who can adapt their game, and turn it on a dime, and play in tournaments, play in cash games, play against loose aggressive players, play against tight rocks,
and not only that, what's even more amazing is play all the games.
Yeah,
and play them all.
And at every exactly, and play all the games, whether it be in a tournament or in a live, no matter what it is.
They're playing stud high low, they're playing deuce to 7, they're playing Badoogie and triple draw and
it's phenomenal.
Limit and right. Now that's just a whole different category.
Oh,
that's not even talking about a good player, great player. That's
right.
talking about overall well-rounded. That's the I guess you could say Michael Jordan. Someone that does it all.
Or Bo Jackson even.
Yeah,
really does it all.
I'm a Michael Jackson. I mean Michael
Jackson, little
Michael Jordan.
There?
Michael Jordan fan. No, actually.
We do our best here not to endorse pedophiles.
Yes.
But hey, Michael was acquitted, right?
Yeah.
So that means he must have not done
He
it.
was not guilty.
Right, exactly. Him and OJ.
Uh-huh.
They're both innocent.
And the other one. What's the other one? Robert Blake. I think.
Speaking of Robert Blake, I actually just ate at Vitello's the other night. And no ace in there here. We got a couple of jacks. See how it's played here.
Get it out of my way, please.
All in.
Come on, you son of a...
So I'm saying, the restaurant where Robert Blake supposedly left with his wife was Vitello's in Studio City. Great Italian restaurant. I was actually there a couple nights ago.
You
with
were?
my wife. Oh, delicious Italian food, I must say.
Do they have pictures of him up on their wall?
I haven't. They have pictures of all these celebrities up
Oh,
there.
they
but
do?
But I haven't looked for his.
Oh, let's gamble.
And Haig is still in there, too. Look at this. Haig's got pocket eights. And once again,
16.
Spomenka is in trouble.
One play all in.
Give her a 9. Give her a 9.
Oh,
Chop hot
4. Yeah, there you go. 4 jorks.
so far.
9. Okay, chop it up.
Chop it up if she turns.
And once again, it's your best 5 cards. It's not like Omaha where 2 cards have to play. So they both have a pair of jacks, pair of 4s, 2 pair,
With an ace kicker.
with an ace kicker. Exactly. I mean, I'll be honest, I was actually I was trying to, be honest about my own game. And I think lately, at least, during the World Series, I played a lot of tournaments. But I was still playing a lot of live games, live cash games. And then when I got back from the World Series, I've been playing predominantly cash games. And I think it's affected my tournament play, where my tournament play is not quite as strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember about 2.5 years ago, I was playing predominantly tournaments. I mean, I was playing tons of, and I finished up about 8 or 9 final tables that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started working here as a prop and I started playing more cash games, I saw my cash game play, my live play, really, really improve. But I saw my tournament play definitely, go down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to wear those 2 hats.
Right. And that's the same as me playing No Limit and Omaha.
Right.
That last year when I started playing No Limit and I had such a passion to learn it and to play it well that my Omaha game really took a dive. And it's just recently that I finally, I've pulled it back out from the gutter and played played like I know how to play.
Right.
I've really noticed the results over the last few weeks.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know,
or a month and
actually,
a half.
Shirley won the Omaha Legends of Poker event here.
Right.
$300 buy-in Legends of Poker, right?
Right.
Event?
No, $500 off.
$500 buy-in Legends
Uh-huh.
of Poker event.
Right. And the week before that, I had played, the online tournament on one of the online sites. They have a $200 tournament. I had finished 6th, and the week before that, I had won it.
Well, there you go. I mean,
So, it was like
you're running
3.
well with that.
I was, yeah.
now Haig here has top pair. Not much of a kicker. He's got top pair. Arshak's got a wheel draw. Let's see if he plays it. We also had a new player in seat 6 here. That's Jeremy, actually. He was the aforementioned Jeremy that was supposed to be in seat 4, but obviously is in seat 6. And he's folded his queen 7.
Good night, Vicky.
And look at this.
I see
Arshak is moving all in.
Call.
And he's
Haig's
bluffing the wrong
calling.
guy.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know that. Haig calls instantly.
And Arshak loses. Arshak had a couple outs there. He needed an ace.
Ace or a 5.
Ace or 5, and doesn't come. Wow. And look at this. The women leave, the men come in, all the laughter and the applause stops.
That's right.
Donna,
And it looks like we're getting a Miss Phyllis Carroll in there.
Hi, Phyllis. How are you? They're looking for women to play at the women's table. Any chip 0-0?
And there she is. She's well dressed, I'll give her that.
Yes.
And once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman. There's Phyllis Carroll talking with our lovely assistant, Donna. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 3 and 5. This is a unrestricted buy-in game. $200 buy-in. Button right now is in seat 6.
Call.
You know, it's funny when you talk about playing different games, like you see Barry and Doyle and Chip Reese and, you know, Yosh, and they're all playing different games, and they're successful at all these different games, whether they play tournaments or live games. And it's funny, I mean, for me, that's how I grew up. You know, you see most of the players that are playing home games now, they're playing no-limit hold'em tournaments. You know, you're getting 6 of your friends over and you're playing a tournament, mini tournaments. When I grew up, I mean, hold'em, I knew what it was vaguely, but we would play like dealer's choice for 3 or 4 hours, get a couple of pizzas, you know, get a case of beer, or when we were younger, you know, a case of Coke. You know, and we'd be playing like, you know, King Little, Black Mariah, you know, 7-card stud, but Black Mariah, like, you know, Deuce is Wild.
Yeah.
And all these different games where, like, you know, the high spade in the hole gets half the pot and stuff like this, and all these little funky games. And it kind of helped me, so when I do play a mixed game, I kind of just adapt poker theory to the game. I go, okay, it's a form of poker. I know how to play poker. I can adapt. And it's interesting, the new generation of poker players that are kind of growing up now, or just jumping into poker now, are learning just Hold'em. And they're kind of like Hold'em specialists. And when you hear Barry talk about poker theory, or when you hear anybody talk about poker theory, they're kind of like, well, specifically Hold'em theory. When it's completely different. I mean, I remember playing a 5-card draw. I mean, every game you can think of, even Indian, where, you know, you put your card on your head.
Oh, yeah. That was...
That's a real game.
Yeah, they called it something else. Blind Man's Bluff. They called it...
Yeah, Blind Man's Bluff. Yeah, it's Indian.
And that was
like
one
that.
of... Yeah.
There you go.
That was the funniest thing last year on the World Series, when it was like Amir, and you remember it?
Yeah, totally.
And Amir was like jumping up and down, doing little dance and stuff. That was great.
Chris Moneymaker was in it. But those are real games, and I used to play these with my buddies.
One of them, yeah, they're all holding it up, and you're looking at all these piece of crap hands, and you're thinking, my hand's got to be better than this. My hand's got, and all of them had garbage hands. They had like 7-4 and 6-3 and.
And Ace Jack is high is the best hand here. He's going to take it down.
Thank you.
Arshak, he's here to gamble. He's taking nothing for granted here.
That's my boss.
Who's the killer?
Lock the seat up.
Thank you, Baron Vanger Toth here from 2+2. He's saying what he read in my book. I'm kind of like a little Stuart Smalley, you know, little Stuart Smalley from SNL a while ago.
No.
You know, when he would stare in the mirror and go, I'm smart enough, I'm good enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Oh, I kind of write that in my book all the time. Make myself feel better about myself. But to me, I don't know. I mean, to me, that's what poker is. Playing dealer's choice, sitting around the table with 6 or 7 guys or girls, and you're playing all different games, not just Hold'em. And you're learning all different games, and by doing that, you're just learning how to bluff, and you're learning, you know, how to adapt your style to different games. Well,
$3.
We have 3 players here for
I want to introduce everybody to Phyllis Carroll.
$20 each,
She runs
$15 each.
Oh, I was there the other day and they took some money over there.
well, Spomenka, she's got top pair here.
Yes, she does.
Really? You
Bet.
come and work here. This is a bit
And it looks like she's gonna. Looks like she's betting $20. Pot's about $20.
betting 25.
And Jeremy's got Queen 10 here. He's got really nothing. He's got overcards. Thinks about it for a second.
Jiva just quoted the same thing that you quoted from SNL. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
Gosh darn it, people like me. And look at this. Haig calls with bottom pair. And I don't think, and Jeremy did fold his Queen 10. And the turn is an 8. And that gives Spomenka top pair with the straight draw as well. She's open-ended here. Haig needs a 3 or an ace on the river. And look at him trying to run her down.
Be careful.
And a jack of spades on the river is no help.
Pair 9.
That's good. Wow, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Thank you. I told you my mom.
Yeah, the interesting thing is we're talking about Cloney Going, and somebody on 2+2 was saying, when I said which one of these don't belong, and they were saying Phil Gordon. I don't know if Phil Gordon's game that well, but he did win a World Poker Tour event.
Yes, he did.
He won the Aruba event.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did. Aruba.
Well, he won the first part of it, but then when he went up against...
I thought it was Jennifer Harmon. He beat Jennifer Harmon heads up.
Yeah, but then he had to play the other guy. He had to play the
Oh, it was another
Denmark
event.
guy.
I see.
He lost.
Okay.
He won the event, the Bay 101. Chris Moneymaker, I think, got second. Phil Gordon
Right.
won. He won the first part. Do you remember the first part was like 6 well-known players? It was Scotty Wynn, Jennifer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then the winner of that
The winner of
played...
that had to play the other. Okay.
Gosh, what's his name?
Who will help me?
Was it Yuha?
I missed my internet.
Yes.
It was okay. I remember seeing
Yuha
him.
played his friend who he had mentored, and then Yuha won, and then Yuha went up against...
Oh, okay. Wow. Patty's got aces here.
And that's what I missed.
Yeah, back to the game.
Okay. No, but then, okay. Sure. But either way, Phil Gordon, hey, he might not belong there either. I'm not sure what he's wanted in terms of is he worthy of being in that group? Probably not when you look at John Juan, Phil Ivey, and Howard Lederer. How many people are?
Right. No, not many. But they were smart enough to bring Jennifer into the mix.
Jennifer Harmon?
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Now that's a chick that showed she can hang with the boys. Got the king 4-3. Patty's still in the lead here.
Yeah, he's got a wheel draw here. I don't think he's going to call. When he does that holding up the cards and kind of waving his hand around, usually he's going to fold it. And he does. Takes it down. Yeah, Jennifer, actually, I saw her playing here in the cash games with Doyle, Brunson, Chip Reese, Barry, and they were playing 4,000, 8,000 limit. And Jennifer was playing with them.
That what? I'm sorry.
They were playing, Jennifer was playing 4,000, 8,000 limit with
yes.
Johnny Chan and Howard Lederer.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
over
sorry,
there.
Howard. Doyle Brunson, Chip Reese, and Barry.
Right.
She's a girl who definitely puts her money where her mouth is.
He said it was open?
It's been 10 minutes.
But hey, I guess in the end, sex sells.
Yes.
And as long as you're tall and you're blonde, whether you can play or not doesn't mean a damn thing, huh? You just happen to be tall, blonde, and you can play.
A bonus.
There's bonus, exactly.
Real quick update. They're down to 2 in the ladies. Mrs. Grinder against Jennifer Tilly.
And Marcia's out?
Marcia's out in 3rd.
And Jennifer Tilly, look at this. After winning the ladies event down at the World Series, she has a 2-1 advantage on the Grinder woman.
The Grinder woman.
The Grinder
woman can play. She
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
But obviously Tilly can play too. I mean,
I'm sure. The Grinder was a very successful internet poker player before he, hit it big on the tournament circuit.
Okay.
So a lot of people knew him from there. And I would imagine that being his wife, you would sit there with him hour after hour, watching him play hands, if you're interested in poker, that is, and have discussed theory with him. I would imagine that
Spamenka here, she's got, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Spamenka's got an open and straight draw. Haig's still got the best hand with a pair of 6s.
Now she
Queen
has
of
a
Hearts,
flush draw.
she's huge. Come on. Gotta hit it. She's got 9 hearts.
You have to bet bigger than that to get Haig to fold.
9 hearts and an additional 6 cards that'll give her the straight. She's got 15 outs. Plus any 9 would actually, or 7. I'm sorry, any 9 would be good.
She's got
Wow, a huge draw there. She had 18 outs there.
And
actually.
she gave up there.
What did you do, boss?
And Haig wins it.
And her 9 was good.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
She had 9 hearts. 6 additional cards would have given her the straight, plus 3 9s. 18 outs with 1 card to go. She's only, even with 1 card to go, she's only a small underdog.
Well, 2-1, yeah.
I can afford it.
Yeah.
There's 44 cards, 18 of which will give her the
18,
winner,
she has
26 of which will give her
36% chance of hitting her hand on the river with 1 card to come.
You didn't know?
So.
Who has?
But it was not for her to hit. And there's a new player in seat 1 there. There's Phyllis. We were talking about her.
4-player.
And we got a 4-way pot. Pot's $20. Once again, the blinds are 3 and 5, so 4-way pot, $20. Flop is ace, ace, 9. Nicole flops the best hand here. She's got 2 pair.
He's got 5-8 off soon.
And Haig takes it down. Wow, what an... Nicole throws that away without even thinking about it. I mean, I know she didn't have much of a kicker, but she immediately gives Haig credit for an ace or a bigger 9. Wow.
I got the $850 for table share. 2 months ago, I won a radio table share.
And in response to Kev Math's post on 2+2, I agree with you 100% that Mimi Tran and Barbara Enright should be chosen for ladies.
I mean, it's amazing. Neither one has ever been chosen.
No.
See, that's
No.
amazing to me. I mean, I know it's like, what's new? What have you done for me lately?
The Mimi Tran has
But
done a lot.
that's
this
what I mean.
year.
It's like,
she's
but Barbara Enright,
yeah.
she's one of the... If Linda Johnson's the first lady of
She's
poker,
a-
Barbara
yeah.
Enright's second.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Barbara Enright is actually married to Max Shapiro. Some people know Max Shapiro. He's a...
Humor columnist.
I think he writes for every
Yeah.
magazine there is. Seems like it, at least. 5 ways. $25 pot here. Haig's got the best hand with a king 6 here. Top pair. Nobody's got a queen.
Betting 60.
Haig's going to bet it. And new player in seat 7 there, too. Get a word on who he is. Seat 7 there, wearing the green shirt.
Thank you.
And we got Jacob there in seat 7 there. And seat 8 is Mikey.
Davy. It's an E.
There we go. Mikey or Davey?
It's Davy. D-E-I.
D-E-I-V-Y. Davey. And I got to tell you, that's the only name people used to go, you want to be called Dave, David, Tuck, Tuckman, Fryer, whatever. I'm like, the only name I've ever really objected to was Davey.
So that's the name we're going to give you. That's
Yeah.
the nickname. You said everyone likes nicknames.
Yeah, it's just not Davey. I mean, it's kind of
You're
like,
calling Spamanka Spanky all night long.
we're close personal friends, me and
Okay.
Spanky.
All right.
Me and Spanky go out to dinner all the time.
go
We
way
talk.
back. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, way, way back.
3-player.
3 players here. About a $30 pot. Flop a queen 9-3, all spades here.
And Haig
Betting 40.
flops a pretty nice draw here.
Yeah, he's got open-ended with the only
high.
spade. The only high spade, that is. And he's going to bet. Wow.
Raise.
Go Patty. She's raising on a pure bluff, but it's not the person that you
See, now
can
this
bluff.
is, to me, this is the difference between tournament and cash game. In a tournament, I love to play.
Uh-huh. Oh, that was Spanky's card right there.
And there's the 6 here. And Haig's going to check in.
All in.
All in.
Wow. This is interesting here. 8 of spades comes on the river.
Look how many chips she
And it's
has,
about a
though. That's
$400
tough
bet.
decision.
I don't know if Haig can call this.
He can't call it.
Wow. And he's going to lay this down, it looks like.
Only 2 cards beat me.
Wow.
Only 2.
And she has one of them. It's not both.
How much you got there?
Too much for you to call.
Is Haig going to lay this down?
I think he is. He showed the person next to him. He's
I'm laying it down.
And he lays it down. What a bet. Now, I got to be honest with you. You can call me stupid. You can do whatever. I think it's a terrible play by Patty there.
uh-huh.
She's risking like $450 for like a $150 pot. Maybe even a $120 pot. I'm not sure.
You're right.
And it was on a pure bluff. I mean, it feels good to bluff, and you can see obviously she's happy and she's smiling and she's showing the cards and, ooh, I made a great play. But she started out like on a wing and a prayer there. I mean, she bluffed on the flop with nothing, and it forced her to bluff again on the river. with nothing, and she basically put $500 of chips at risk.
I might get in trouble.
And she might have been bluffing into the nuts. She doesn't know.
Right.
I just don't understand the play. I mean, she got lucky there and happened to be, he only had a jack of spades. If he has a king of spades, I don't know if he lays it down.
I don't think he does.
Right.
Yeah. Some players will make that lay down. I don't think Haig would make that lay down.
Yeah.
I sure have.
Yeah.
75.
If I give to him, I give to him.
And Patty's going to walk away quite a winner here.
Well, it's
She's got
not,
about $1,000, a little more than
$1,000.
$1,000. She's won about $800 tonight.
Good bluff, right?
Absolutely.
I know he had a spade, but I know he didn't have ace or king. You know what I mean? I just had a feeling. That's why I went all in. Who doesn't call?
Oh man, that's hilarious.
I absolutely.
And flop here of 2, 4, 5 here.
Not even a pair.
It misses everybody here.
And it's leased by
This is one of those, whoever bets it's going to win it, huh?
run by Century Game.
I think so.
I mean, when I talk about that play there, I mean, I look at it and I'm thinking,
I raised
okay,
right?
results don't necessarily mean it was a good play or a bad play,
Right,
right?
yes.
I mean, do you agree with me on that?
I totally agree.
Okay.
With you.
I mean, in a tournament, I like the play a little bit more.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
at least being aggressive is a reason for it. I'm trying to accumulate chips. Eventually, I have to accumulate them all.
Right.
But in a cash game, there's just no reason for it.
Right.
I mean, I think the pot was $25. Haig bets 40 into it. Throw your hand away. I mean, she was basically, the original pot was 25. She was trying to, she was going to risk all her chips for that little pot. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. And we're not sure what Phyllis has in seat 1, but Michael has a busted flush draw. He has king high
He
right
is
now.
king high, and she checked to him.
Ace of clubs in the river now. That's going to make somebody else's flush. Nine
And
of
she
hearts.
lays
and then
down her hand.
Yeah.
All right. Give me something so I can go all in. Come on. It's fine.
It's what they used to say about Stewie Younger is he used to know. He used to be really good about picking his spots in terms of, and he used to know exactly how much to bluff to get somebody off the hands. And never risked more than he had to risk. Now I'm curious something. You talk about somebody being a good player, a good poker player, he has to have good money management skills because that's part of being a good poker player.
Yes.
So is Stewie Younger a good poker player in your eyes?
You know,
I mean, it's hard.
I know.
Because clearly he is.
I've been thinking about that lately. I'm almost positive that I had this discussion with you about me reading his book and how fascinating he was and
Right.
what a card player, an incredible card player. But he also, he died broke, and I guess you could say he was one exception to the rule because clearly he was probably the best card player, and I'm
Right.
not saying poker, but overall card player because he knew gin. He knew how to play them all, gin,
Yeah.
hearts, and stuff like that. Probably clearly the best card player in the world.
We got 3 aces here, and everybody's missed it. The flop is 6, 7, 9. Haig's actually got an open-ended straight draw here. But nobody else has much of anything. Jeremy's got a gut shot. Haig's going to bet it, and I think that Svamenka's got to lay it down. And I imagine Jeremy's going to lay it down too. Well, maybe not. I'd imagine nothing. And there's the 8. Wow, that's Jeremy hits his gut shot. 8 of hearts on the turn there. And Jeremy got there, but he's not going to get paid.
No, he's not.
So you're saying he's one of the few exceptions.
Well, I'm saying I think that I would have to make an exception,
Okay.
but it's just something that I think I still have to think about that.
I mean, to me, it's kind of semantics.
You can't argue with.
Right, to me, it's kind of
him
semantics
being
in the
a
sense
great
of what's a good
player.
poker player. To me, a good poker player is different than a successful poker player. And to be
I
a
don't
successful
know.
poker player, I think you need to be able to know how to pick good games, good game management, good money management, good
But being able to
self-management.
keep yourself in a game.
Right,
So
but in
that's
terms
one
of
thing Stu has that other people don't.
and that was to me that makes a successful poker pro. But to be a good poker player, you can have the innate knowledge. You can be a natural and have natural instincts. have no clue how to manage money and still be an amazing poker player, I think. Personally, that's what I think. I wouldn't want to give, say, Stu Unger $10,000 because I'd be scared that he just pissed it away, on women or drugs or whatever he was using at the time.
Right. Towards the end of his career, that's
definitely
true.
Right, of course. But at the time, there's no denying that he's an amazing player. And there are a lot of people. I mean, like T.J. Cloutier. Is he a good player? He's had a lot of problems managing his money because of his craps problem, his gambling problem with craps. I don't think you can deny the fact that he's obviously got talent, being a tournament poker pro. He's obviously good at it. Is he a success? I don't know. I mean, he might be successful. He might make more money in the end from his writing. I'm not sure. That's my personal take on it because it's hard to kind of. I know it's a fine line when looking at something like that.
Because if you think if you can't keep yourself in a game, then you're not a good poker player. But the one thing that Stu Unger and TJ has is that players understand that they can make money off them, so they're willing to put them in tournaments. So although they might not be able to manage their money and keep themselves in a game, they have other offerings to keep them, to keep themselves in the game and have the potential to earn money because of other people. So, I guess it's just something that I need to think about a little bit more.
Right, of course. Third spade on the river on the turn here. Kind of a scare card for both of them. See if anybody takes advantage of it, though. When you're playing poker, you've got to realize that there are some cards that are scary, even though if they're scary to you, they might be equally scary to your opponent. You can use those scare cards to steal a pot.
I went check. She's going to go for it.
There you go. And this is a tough call for King 3 here. He doesn't have a spade. He has no kicker. And give it up. Let's see if Spomenka can win this pot. And she earned it. There you go. Well done, Spomenka. Good job.
She's showing.
Shows the bluff.
Bluff young guys. The older you can't bluff. They have everything. Hey, listen, he took me for $1,000 like he needs it. Yeah, he did. Actually, she gets maybe 100 and he's looking for less.
There you go. Spanky takes one down. Take it down for the team there.
Imagine I was one who invited him. He took the most of my money.
It's an interesting debate, though, obviously. Who's a good player? Who's a bad player? And to me, in the end, money management can't really... I know Barry talks about that in his book a lot in terms of staying in the game and staying away from sports betting and staying away. And obviously, if you can't stay in the game, I don't care how good a player you are, how talented you are. If you can't stay in the game, who cares?
Really get me a good day.
And there's D80 at ace-4. Oh, ace-10, actually. There
That
you
could
go.
be a whole subject on 2+2 that could probably burn up their thread. What constitutes a good player?
Well, and it's the definition. There's not one. There can't be one definition to it. No way.
Well, certainly can't be one right answer, I would imagine. Of course, I'll always think my answer's right, but I can't even come up with an answer. I thought I knew it all. No, I'm kidding, of course, but I always just thought that a person that made the right decision and kept themselves in the game were the great players,
Right.
But when you come to my age, then it's really problems. Men are not after me.
And Haig there has second pair, but he has position on the field, and he's going to take a shot at it. And that's a good bet there by Haig. The pot was about $45, $15 raise pre-flop. Now, Davey there in seat 8. He's got a gut shot, but he's got no diamonds in his hand, so it's a real tough call, and he's not going to call it. Haig takes it down. Nice play.
Just a bluff. Come on.
Lily's pulled up even with Tilly.
Oh, there you
Jennifer
go.
Tilly.
Tilly and Lily.
Uh-huh.
Hurts are good. They talk back, but they stay in the cage where you put them. That's right. Kids talk back, and they don't stay where you put them.
Yep, pretty soon.
You won't go anywhere, though.
Yeah, soon.
You soon.
When this is done, then I'm
It's funny, I'm a big advocate for reading books and obviously and talking about poker on 2+2 and all these things. And in the end, I think the best thing you can do is just play.
Or
Play-
listen to Barry.
Well, listen, but I still, even then, I say play. Just keep playing. Whether it be home games and mixed games, just keep playing. And you have to play for something. You can't play for free. Playing for nothing, like some people say, oh, I just play for fun online. I go, that's not poker.
Right.
The game of poker is betting. You can't play for nothing.
Right.
And even if it's just pennies, I don't care what you play for. You got to keep playing. 6 deuce deuce rainbow flop. Nobody's got a 6 or a deuce in their hand. But seat 9 here, Jeremy in seat 9's got pocket 4s, and he has the best hand. But Haig's going to call with 9-3 of diamonds. And there we got it. Eric's going to fold. I imagine Davey's going to fold here.
You didn't imagine that Haig was going to fold. Did you know that he was going to call with 9-3?
I didn't know it, but I certainly didn't imagine him folding. Haig doesn't necessarily need
a pair or a draw.
A draw or anything. He just calls. Not even with the intention of possibly bluffing at it, just to call. Calling for maybe hitting his 9. Or runner diamond. I'm not. And he checks it down. He can't beat anything.
No, he can't.
And Jeremy takes it down there.
Calling with the intent to steal it.
Right.
Would have been all right.
Calling with the intention of getting, I'm not sure what. I've long since stopped trying to get inside Haig's mind.
I like when I start playing, like, this is my 30 hours playing. I was playing since 7 o'clock last night, mostly. And still I cannot blame my not sleep for it.
There was a question asked here about the club on Eastern, and that was called, way back in the day, it was called the Bell Club.
The Bell Club?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was opened before, like, Commerce, and then they closed down, and then they opened up again for a short time, but it wasn't called the Bell Club. It was called something else. I think they were only open for about 6 months to a year. I don't remember the name.
Haig's got the best hand here. It's Ace King 4 flop, and Haig's got King 7. There we go. He's going to bet $20, and I'd imagine he takes it down.
There is a Mamas and Papas restaurant called Elena's on the Glendale Boulevard, let's say like in 1000 South Glendale Boulevard.
Well, he's not doing bad.
No, and he's had kind of like a little roller coaster night. I mean, he's been up to 600, down to 1, back to 6. And those look like a little bigger than $20 stacks, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably about $125 in each one.
I don't know. I don't think he has it counted out like that.
Mamas and Papas on the Glendale Boulevard, good food.
I like the food at
Probably about 120 in each stack, I would imagine.
Good enough guess.
And the bread is always hot and fluffy. Oh my God.
Now tonight concludes our Legends of Poker tournament, obviously our annual big tournament here every August in early September. And our next big tournament will be Poker October, which actually starts September 29th and runs through the first couple of weeks of October. And if you want to play, come down to the Bicycle Casino, Bell Gardens, California, 10 miles south of Los Angeles. If you come on in, I will buy you a drink. Mo will get you a massage.
Mm-hmm.
What will you do for him, Shirley?
I was just thinking, what can I add to that?
Just say hi.
I'll say hi.
There you go.
That's easy. I got off easy.
Nobody has a club in there. It's Queen Jack 9-5. Jeremy has the best hand here, and he's in very good shape.
Except for the fact he has to make a call here because Eric's let out.
Oh, thank you.
Because ace high.
There you go. Okay. And actually, then I was going to say the opposite then.
He's going to fold his 9.
Nice bet there by Eric. I don't think Jeremy could call that. Obviously, he has no club in his hand.
I didn't have that card. If I had that card, probably would have raised.
So Tilly's pulled up in front of Lily. And I would think it would be great for poker for Jennifer Tilly to win the World Series and then win this event.
Yeah. She's getting more TV time from poker than she is from acting these days.
Yes, I think so. And that's something you know about. I had to laugh when I heard you were on Saved by the Bell the second season.
Where did you hear that?
Bart told me.
Bart told you, okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've been trying to hide that one. Yeah, when I moved out here, I was actually acting and writing, and appeared on a bunch of shows like that.
I remember you writing a script.
I write constantly.
Uh-huh.
Probably about 25, 30 hours a week I write.
But you can't keep up with a blog.
Huh?
But you can't keep up with a blog.
I can. I just didn't realize anybody was actually reading them. That somebody would want me to continue.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody came into the Bicycle Casino and said, "Wow, I really liked your Under the Gun article." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah. Why don't you continue it?" So if I have one fan, that's all I need.
Okay.
A little encouragement. That's all I need.
I could get you probably if we put it on mine. We could get you a big readership.
Okay. Hey.
Following. I'm serious.
If you think it's decent, you can put it on wherever you want.
I could, yeah.
Haig's got an open-ended straight draw here. And he's going to bet it. And takes it down with a $20 bet. It's only about a $25 pot, and he takes it down. Nice bet. Kind of a little semi-bluff there. Interesting here, Scott Fishman's second World Series of Poker bracelet was the $1,500 horse event last year. And he said he's actually most proud of that because horse is all the events. And he's really proud of that.
I thought that I just heard that the ladies' event was over. It is over.
Wow, well, who won?
Jennifer Tilly won.
There you go.
They didn't have that on the screen last night because they had the...
Haig has to go do the ceremony. That's why he got up.
Okay. Well, Haig stole that pot with 6 high. And then he goes...
Now we have Pocket Kings.
Pocket Kings in seat 5.
Oh, wow. Spanky's getting spanked again.
What does she have? Pocket 7.
It's not seat 6. It's Nicole in seat 5 has kings, and Spamenka has 7s.
My timing is really...
Wow, and Spamenka actually called her. Or did
No,
she?
Spamenka moved in.
Oh, okay.
Nicole flat called.
Oh.
I need 7.
Couple of hearts out
need
there.
A 7. 7.
No.
Oh, yeah, just
Yeah, rub it in.
twist the knife a little bit.
Yeah, not much point there in moving in with 7s. You're only going to get called by a hand that can beat you. And obviously kings in that case. But look at Spamenka, still smiling, still having a good time. Very classy lady.
Yes.
I've seen players lose far less than her.
Yeah.
And
I see players
act
lose
like
one
complete,
hand.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And then here she, I think she only won one pot the whole night, and we didn't see her at all, and like frowning.
No.
Frown or anything.
And she's probably down about $800, I want to say, tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty significant for a $200
Which, as
buying
much
game.
but as much as she was getting her butt kicked, $800 isn't a ton. 4 buy-ins, that's not. I've seen worse. I've done worse. I've gotten stuck more, but I usually do a 200, then a 300, 300, 300.
Right.
So, $1,100. My swings are a lot bigger. You know, I mean, but I get them up there. You know, it's not unusual for me to get stuck $700 and then get it all back.
Right, right.
Or not necessarily get it back, but get even.
Well, congratulations to Jennifer Tilly. What a year.
Yes.
The year of the Tilly.
Yep.
What's next for her, huh? How about winning an open event, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Huh?
Let's see you do that, girl. Well, that'd be great. I mean, hopefully that she can.
Well,
win
hey,
an
she
open
can-
event.
Right.
Mhm. We still have, yet to see a woman win a large open event. A $10,000 buy-in.
Right. And it's not getting any easier for them, obviously, with these huge fields.
And we only represent about 5% of the field.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
It's very difficult. I personally, I'm still looking for myself to win a large buy-in event.
That you're waiting till.
Yeah, I'm still looking for myself to win.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris is a new player in the game. He'll be coming in seat 3. Haig's taking a break from the game to present Jennifer with the trophy, I suppose. And what do they get for they get $25,000 seat to the
They
Bellagio?
get a seat into the championship, and last night the winner got a ring. So I don't know if the winner of the ladies event also gets a ring. So
And we're getting the Armenian Express in seat 3.
Mhm.
Chris Gregorian, the Armenian Express. Exactly, he's the send it to Armenia guy.
He says, "She bit."
Would you say this is the livest game, $200 game in the house?
It's a good game. It used to be tighter, and then it loosened up a little bit. Tonight's been kind of, hasn't been totally wild. I like the 3 to 5.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. And neither player has anything here. Let's see if how they play it. Flop of 9-8-5 rainbow here. And Phyllis actually bet there. She moved all in for about $80 and take it down with ace jack, which was the best hand. Got about 20 minutes left in our webcast tonight. You can catch us Wednesday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time until September 12th, which is when we'll start Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
I have to show the cards, right?
No. You have to show the cards to everybody.
Oh my God.
Upside down, right here.
I'm just doing this for my friends in Kentucky. They ask me.
And there's Chris there.
What are they doing up?
Huh?
Oh, it's not that late.
It's not that I never done it.
So we'll say hello to his friends in Kentucky.
There you go.
Oh, can't do it. I showed it to the camera, but
Chris, you should wave to your friends there.
And I need my fan. I'm too hot already here.
And there he is, the Armenian Express.
I don't leave home without it.
If you followed cardplayer.com during the World Series and you saw like the tournament updates, you'd see numerous updates about Chris Gregorian.
From that taping room.
He's a big-time tournament player. Hasn't really cashed in a big one, though. Has he?
I'm pretty positive he has.
I mean, he must have cashed in a couple of big ones, but I'm talking about World Series. Doesn't have a bracelet or anything. Maybe somebody can do a little work for me on 2+2. I would love it. Chris
Do David's
Gregorian.
work for him, please.
I appreciate it. I don't think he's won a bracelet. I'm pretty sure of that. Obviously, I think he's won some local Los Angeles tournaments.
Hello, guys in Kentucky. I'm going to play the first time. I have to show. I'm sorry.
Also, good friends with Kenna James. He was there last night with me, rooting for Kenna.
Chris is a really nice guy. I mean, he plays
He
probably
is
about
nice.
150 tournaments a year. And super nice guy.
Don't beat me now. I'm going to be embarrassed, man. They are watching me all the way in
And never,
West,
never
Southwest,
shuts up.
and Mississippi.
It's one of those things you got to just kind of love it or just put your iPod on.
And
Uh-huh.
Louisiana. And Louisiana. Oh my God, cool people there. No power over there. Amigo, dos water, por favor. Dos agua.
Chris raises with Jack 6 of diamonds here. Made it 18 to go. And Jeremy's going to re-raise him. Ace Queen.
Why, my friend? You want to embarrass me?
36. Is that double?
All right, 36.
And he raised the minimum. So now we're looking at about a $75 pot to the flop.
I'm just doing this one.
And Chris has got position on Jeremy, so let's see how it's played. Well, it's always easy to play when you flop top pair, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty small bet.
It is a small bet. I am.
And Chris is going to call there, the second pair. Wow. And Jeremy's hand is getting stronger and stronger. Chris has got 2 outs here. And 2 outs only.
130.
Sorry, guys. Play back.
And the pot is about 150 right now. Actually, and Chris throws the hand away.
Yeah, I'm surprised Chris called them. I'm actually kind of surprised the whole way, but
Surprised of everything.
yeah.
Well, I think he might have called him the flop thinking he had position. Thinking, okay, if this guy misses his hand, maybe I can take it
I
away
can
from him.
outplay him. Yeah.
Right. And then when the guy came out and bet, he didn't bet that big. He only bet $40 into like an $80 pot. He's going, wait a second, maybe my jack's good.
Mm-hmm.
Then the ace came. He goes, oh shit, I don't have anything. Throw this away.
Can I buy more now?
Once again, obviously, it's hard for us sometimes to try to get into somebody else's head, but.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Chris there, up close and personal. 10-4, over and out. And I like what Kev Math here from 2+2, our live thread, assumes that maybe next year's Ladies Night Field number 4 will be Jennifer Tilly, Mimi Tran, Karina Jett, Barbara Enright, Shirley Rosario.
There we go.
And tournament winner the night before. So that would be a nice field.
That would be a nice field.
And Phyllis has got the best hand here, Ace Queen. Gonna take it down. Wow. And Davey goes broke there. The problem with playing those ace rags, especially ace 7, just got no possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to push everybody out. I didn't have a bad hand. I kind of like my hand.
She wants to play. I can get up.
You're so nice. What's your name? I'm Chris.
It's funny, when I'm playing tournaments, Shirley, I actually would rather, if I'm in the cutoff seat or if I'm in late mid position and I'm in a steal spot where I want to steal somebody's blind, I'm sooner going to raise with like 10-9 or Jack-10 or even like 7-6. I'll sooner raise and try to steal with that than I will with like ace-7.
Me too.
Because it's kind of like, I feel like, okay, if I get called and an ace falls and the guy checks to me, I can still represent the ace. And I also have the possibility of hitting my hand another way also if I get called. It's just those ace rag hands, they either lose big pots or win very small ones usually.
Right. That was one thing that Barry was saying yesterday about that hand.
Right.
Or about ace rags.
Especially ace-6 to ace-9. It's just they can't make a straight with it. Ace-10 obviously has that value of possibly making Broadway.
Right. Bart hates that hand.
Ace-10? Well, it's not a great hand, obviously.
Well,
it's very
right.
vulnerable. But it has significantly better than ace-9.
No. See, it's like a grinder is coming. Wait.
Phyllis is in the lead here with 9 deuce. Not sure if she knows it, though.
I'm losing already. 200. That's a lot for you. Yes.
But Chris is going to bluff at it with king 3, and he takes it down. $20 bet, takes about a $20 pot down.
You can show, it's okay. Hey, I want a pot, buddy. Kentucky.
I got him.
Chris is kind of like that.
You would think he would never won a pot before in his life. I want a pot. I want a pot.
Right, he's been here 5 minutes, and there he is. Chris is kind of like that fun-loving teddy bear of an uncle. You know? Doesn't know which camera to look at,
He
but
wants
hey.
to make sure that
He's
he
gonna stare at
gets
them
it
all.
out of them.
Go, Chris, go.
I'm just doing for them. They asked me. They're just watching me.
Pocket aces here. Seat 6. And he makes it, I believe he raised it, I want to say $10.
That's what I can see. But
yeah, it looks like a $10 bet here. And Davey,
he
just re-raised it to 40.
he bet. He moved all in. $46.
Well, Eric's kind of like, well, thanks for
He took the
protection.
bait, yeah. The bait.
Ow! Ow! They can't? No. Damn, why don't you?
And I'd imagine Eric's going to call, huh?
I thought they can see the card, can they see me?
Chris, you're in the way of the camera.
Oh. Sorry, camera, I don't know what I'm doing.
46 more?
And Davey's in bad shape.
No, grinder for me.
And look at this. I mean, once again, players just giving money away.
Well, he didn't know. I mean, it was only $10. He moved in. He's not calling.
No, without a doubt, right?
Send me home. If you can. Oh, man, I'm in airline. Look at that.
10?
Well, there's a 10, right?
Queen or a 10?
No, I got pocket sevens.
Oh! And aces have a redraw here.
No deuce, 7 or ace, and he's good. Queen 10
There you
to
go.
win.
Redraw for 2 pair, or obviously a set of aces would have been good.
Right. Yeah,
Pocket
I said
aces
deuce,
had,
7 or ace.
I want to say 3, 6, 8 outs going into the river. King of spades obviously not being one of them.
I cracked those with 9, 10 today.
First time he came over here. Cracked.
You look at it, you're like,
And Davey takes it down there with 2 pair.
Queen 9 suited. Queen 9 suited. I really love that hand, too.
You want a massage?
Well, Shirley, thanks for all the candy.
Yeah,
You
you're
definitely
welcome.
helped us get through the
You're
night.
welcome.
Most appreciated.
That's why you want to work with me.
Without a doubt.
No. I will lose my concentration, man.
Davey's picked up ace 10 now of
I
spades.
will lose my... Okay, baby. Yeah. Thank you, Gil.
And he decides to limp in. Queen 10, he moves all in. Queen 10 also he moves all in. Ace 10 suited, he limps in.
They'll call you with anything.
You're kidding, right?
And Chris is going to raise it up with pocket 5s. He's on the button.
And he puts a nice raise in, which is what I like to do. I mean, if you're going to take the pot, you don't want to play the flop. You either want to play a really, really cheap pot or you want to just steal the blinds there. And you have to
I just
put
don't
in
see the
enough.
value of stealing the blinds there.
Right. I mean, there's only $15, $20 in there, but
Right,
if
I
he
mean-
thinks that he can do it and get away with it, then... But a raise of like $20, that's not going to steal the blinds, and that's not going to play a cheap pot. You know, it kind of defeats both sides of it.
Well, let me ask you this, just to play devil's advocate, because I actually like making a raise of $15 or $20 sometimes. And the reason for it is actually because I'm playing no limit. If I have a deep stack, it's to play it for a big pot, where if I flop a set, I make it harder for somebody else to get away from their hand because the pot's not just
You do,
$15.
so you do that with your small pairs.
Sometimes. I'll mix it up. Sometimes I'll limp in. Sometimes I'll raise. I don't really like betting 50 there. I'm sorry. I keep kneeing, just for people at home, I keep kneeing Shirley in the butt. But I'm not a big fan of raising $50 there.
Fives are still good.
Yeah, and
The
fives are going to win this.
hold up.
Chris takes down. Well, hey, in this case, it worked out
Chris
well.
got all his chips in there.
Yeah.
I like to make those small pot builder bets for hands like Jack 10 of clubs. You know,
Okay.
Suited middle card. So I guess the same,
Hey,
same
pocket-
thing is true. But the small pairs, I don't really like to. I like to, but I see your point. I
Well, it's just
usually
one of
like
those
to
things
get in
where-
there cheap.
Right, it's one of those hands where I know, if I hit my hand, I'm pretty sure I got it. King, queen, I don't really want to put a pot builder there because I'm looking at it going, well, if I flop my queen, it's a lot king, queen offsuit, something like that. It's not suited. It's a lot harder to see it, know where you're at.
What about ace 10? That's another thing that I usually do. It's I don't want to play the hand because I don't want to see a flop, but I will pick up dead money if there's 4 limpers.
Right, I guess you're saying, I just don't see much value in risking 50 to win 20. Because if you do the math and you start thinking about it, you go, okay, I've got to be correct now. Like 3 times to every time that I'm wrong to make it worthwhile.
Right.
To me, that's a big overlay. I would almost rather raise it up $20 in position, because in that case, Chris actually had the button. I'd almost rather raise it up $20, okay? Get 3 callers. Now the pot's, say, $80. And now on the flop, if everybody checks to me, I can throw in a $50 bet then. And now I'm betting 50 to win 80. And I don't have to be correct every time to make money on that kind of bet.
Right. Yeah,
that's just the way I don't want to put in, like you see sometimes people betting 400 to win 100.
Yeah, well, like we saw Patty.
Right, and in that case, Chris is putting in 50 to win 20.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's not why I like working with you, David. Me and Bart, we just disagree. Everything he says, I just disagree with. You, I actually think, wow, yeah, you're right.
Well, it's kind of going along. I kind of agreeing with what Barry said. The reason Barry doesn't raise in the cutoff seat in a tournament when there aren't antes, let's say the blinds are 25-50, he doesn't raise with ace-9, even though it's probably the best hand, is because he's not interested in just stealing the blinds. He wants to play a big pot. He wants somebody to call him, and he wants to flop something big and maybe win a big hand. I guess I'm the same way in the sense of, especially in a game like this where the blinds are $3 and $5, I almost never want to win a flop pre-flop. Win a pot pre-flop.
You don't, just like you pick up 4 $20 bets and you have $80. $80 isn't
4 $20 bets is fine, but 4 $5 bets?
No, you do it 4 times, 4 people limp in and you steal it 4 times. And
Right, no,
but I get your point.
I guess that's right,
but
you better be right all 4 times. Because if you're right 3, and then one time somebody comes over the top on you and re-raises you, you got to throw away your ace-10. Well, now you're pretty much breaking even.
Good point.
We got a couple hands left here. The button is in seat 9, small blind in seat 1, and big blind is our mini and express in seat 3. Blinds are 3 and 5 once again. Obviously, this is live, so we can't plan our last hand, but hopefully it'll be a big one.
Oh, we have 2, right? This one plus one more?
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like somebody hit a jackpot out there.
Possibly. Ace, Jack, Deuce here. Chris has got second pair, and he is good. He's going to throw a little bet in there, see where he's at. I'd imagine we'll probably take the pot down with this bet. And he does.
I wonder if we can scan in on the jackpot.
He's a happy loser, you see that?
We'll at least be able to find if it's a no-limit table. Oh, it's not a jackpot. Someone just going crazy because they won a hand. That's boring. You would think that...
Yeah, that was just people going crazy over a $300 pot. Yeah.
I was happy. It's $500.
Sounded like they hit a jackpot.
You'd think.
Did it sound? Yeah.
And this is going to be our last hand of the night here. Eric first act in seat 6 there. He's got Jack 3. He's going to throw it away.
Calm down, buddy. Calm down.
Jeremy there. He's going to limp in with Queen 3 of spades. And Chris is going to try to pick it up again with Jack 8 of diamonds. I think he raised there. So I think he made it $18.
Me too, but I'm going to call.
Jeremy's going to call.
This was a don't do, according to Barry.
Yeah. Which play?
Playing Queen 3 is suited.
Right.
Unless
Queen
you
3
can hit
suited.
top pair here and withstand the heat. Let's see. I guess this is a perfect example why. You hit top pair, you still don't know where you are.
Right, exactly.
Well, he's calling.
Now, Chris has got a gut shot.
Yeah,
he needs
he
a
needs
9. And that's going to just make Jeremy's not going anywhere.
But, right. Oh, and he's just going to
bet
right out.
Chris checked, actually.
Okay. Chris has a 7 drop. No, he doesn't have a 7 drop. I thought he had a double gutter.
No,
Yeah, if I just
Not much
you
info
don't
at all.
know. I don't know straights.
Well, there you go. Jeremy picks it up there, and that was the last time. The river would have been the 6 of hearts, which obviously would not have helped Chris, and Jeremy would have won the pot anyway. And there we go. That's going to do it for another night of Live at the Bike. For David Tuckman and Shirley Rosario, and for everybody in the booth, I want to say good night. Come back tomorrow night.
Yep. Good night.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.